Right, Sky Power Radio and TV Services Studios, West Yorkshire, Leeds, Denzel Mount. Welcome all on board our weekly civic education program today, Saturday, 22nd of November 2025 at 17:15 UK time. Mustafa Jammeh is my name at the seat. Greetings. Yo, assalamu alaikum, Badingolung, Al Kontom, Mobedawada, Anibe, Watu to Kabaran Sky Power Radio and TV Services, Kal Kontom, Kal Bismillah, na program Ming Kasurajang, Lokungo Loku Ninyan Tembensi, the civic education program. Now, Badimalo Mustafa Jammeh, members here in Kokunan Tembe. Memol Konton, na Fam Fankala de Maro Muntajang. Okay, they will continue letting features Sky Power Radio and TV Services, Bago features, Studios, West Yorkshire, Leeds, Stencil, Mount, Buntu program, civic education program, and the accent Harit Mustafa Jammeh Nekalen feature Rajabi. Right, come on, go back. How did the fair examine Buneka? The CPT was CPT every Saturday. We are here to civic education side of it. Greetings. Some of these faces are very common faces that we used to see on here. You know, munya dalle di mialon dal de keja alpha bal mialon ko ketaram fe loku loku ninyan tembensita. Dol fama da bage male be dam barmbe konton na ketaram vele loku barmbe minkela the fofenkela and say I follow the jama jamba follow ko ladies first they insabla na kacha ko ladies and then say bula any lamoir lal ni jiber lal nyo kontong no baraje sina dum ko kunkoro nay inembara imokende ibisimila.
Yeah, mbal be kontona be Suleiman kontona back again famo ketale ametale maje. So it's good to see you back. And Kafo just is always good hakilo di in the program. Mustafa fanambe kontona and just lamoilar fanang ke be konton. CBT nka Kenya mendrong discussion o kanyo hakilo ya kanyo di hakilo la dal ka kol discuss mel me banko te banko la nyato ta katu adiamo be mo waleti banko nyanta ta la nyamen nyanta banko sambala nyamen molme na banko maraika mara nyamen so o diamo ka mol hakilo bulandi dronko beta mo banko leti ni banko mu bele tati bele nyanta dabula la banko la koda la tamanya an ngalon ko Aziz fana manna bamba mas ba fulal be ko sulata la jandal kacha la bangdal ya jubiral be la barka an ya
Any Barabakende, as you say, we'll be joining shortly. Malum Abunyadile. Kadima Kalong, but it's all Favara back, Namon lol, Honorable Suleiman Jeng, model for a minfonye. Ekunyago Yalon Sol, the problem I have, you know, I'll tell the general public here, put Molia understand. Okay. Nina the platform to kill him for la sabanani, for killing carry war of the 6 months. They hold my neck here. Yeah, Meneketa, Ila Suleiman le, Ila Bambale, where is your Bamba? Where is your Suleiman? Meneketa for all song catalabang, for all wallet for Meneketa. You know, I seriously, no. If you don't come for 1-2 weeks, because always I get these feedbacks, you know, what's wrong with Bamba Mas? Did you fall out? I say, well, Bamba, never. It will never fall out. Suleiman, what happened? Oh, Saul is busy with things, you know, family issues. And so I have to give that excuse. So that excuse, if it goes to more than 3 months, then or a month or so, then it's like, you know, this guy is not telling us the truth. Something is not right here, you know. So it makes me look kind of, I don't know if that makes sense to yourself,
Yeah, I
So
think it
when you
does. But
do,
what they also need to understand is like this is a selfless service that we do, for the nation. But along the side, we also have our own lives to live, and then for us to live, we need to work. And here, unlike the Gambia, you just don't go to work at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. You are out in the street on personal matters. So when you are doing an 8-hour shift, it has to be full 8 hours. You are only free during your break. When you're doing a 12-hour shift, it has to be a 12 hours, and you are only free during your break, and you don't even have access to your mobile phones, especially when you are in the healthcare sector. So for me, it's like I said, I'm juggling between two jobs. Like I've got a new job where I am a registered manager, so I'm trying to recruit people, get the home settled, etc. And then where the other job, I work as a support worker, and then I don't usually now with that one have weekend off, but where I am doing the managerial job, I do Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then I have the weekend off. But I'm not full time there yet until January when Ofsted has given us the green light to um, be fully operational. So what I'm doing now is just working on the logistics, writing policy papers, etc.
in
So that
summary,
is why,
you have things to do. You're
yeah,
busy in summary.
that is why it's difficult for me to be here every Saturday,
Greetings.
unfortunately. But this is my weekend off, and I said I have to come back and say hello to everyone, the audience especially. Ajaratu, namon malen gina nama because komli mangi de warek balanga tok ci kanami ku yeka nanga neka ci helam. Bo nekkee ci xelam foo nekk rek dina la yekkal toog ci kanami ku yekka tawut mu yekkal la so suma xel mu ngi ci yéen saa yu ne maa ngi leen a xalaat de suma xolit mu ngi ci yéen so réew mi moom ñoo ko bokka saa yu jógee rek dañ cee góorgóorlu xaj suñ tànki tubéy en so liñ ci war a wax nañ ko liñ ci war a def def nañ ko so maa ngi jéggalu ci loolu ngeen baalal Mustapha nag du fool tam and then I don't think we will ever fall out because swing ideals are similar. They're the same. The love for the country is the same. So you cannot fall out with such a person. Why joti su jotante wut rek unfortunately duñ fi mun a nekka. Anyway, that's about it. Maa ngi leen a nuyu di leen sant di leen gërëm. Asis Bojang ni na fi nekk xam naa yéen ak ñoo joo yéen ak ñaari police officers yi ñoo daw daw dañ uti doole rek.
I'm not sure, Jerejef. Topic title today, the political and security implications of Yahya Jammeh's return. Yahya Jammeh is a former president of the Republic of the Gambia. And then during his time, amna allegation ñi nga xamne or atrocities ñi nga xamne xewna ci jamonom politically at the security wise security xam nga ci lu bari honorable Suleiman Jeng so fana bobu lañ bëgg discuss and then see because these are things yi nga xamne anything lo xamne dafa trigger something lo xamne dafa indi lorange for the citizenry loolu war naa nekk loo xam ne dafa itew ñëpp because Yahya Jammeh is a former president dëgg la waaye pour moom mu dellu ci Gambia security wise ak politically loolu your thoughts on that Suleiman.
Jërëjëf Moustapha maa ngi la delluwaat di la santa dine question bi is very fitting ñu just compare comme xam nga bim coup d'état woon Jawara was doing everything possible to return mu ngi doon engage the international community mu ngi doon lifin if you remember in New York I think Tombong Sedi tontu woon na ko foofu and that went viral so Jammeh was on the other hand was doing everything possible to ensure ne Jawara ñëwut te amul the support from the international community waaye da nga gis ne at the later date allow na Jawara ñëw na jox na ko statement si am na security and a lot of other things so bari hen na wow, if Jammeh had allowed Jawara to return, Luta Baro Dumuna allow Jammeh to return. Why so sete ñoom ñaar they quite different. Then political history is different. Ningrone state is different. Of course, Jawara henna some of his critics mun nañu wax ne after 1981 coup bi, some of the alleged suspects of participants were, mistreated, etc. Why he's not been accused or allegedly nini disappear under his rule, arbitrary arrest amna under his rule, people have been killed under him, students have been killed, etc. So Jammeh, some of his supporters ñoom dañ feel ne Jammeh has not committed any crime. In fact, for them, Jammeh is the victim, and we are the perpetrators against Jammeh. ñoo xam ne have, are holding critical view against him. Dañ feel ne ñun ñoo perpetrate injustice against Jammeh. So Jammeh is a victim. He has not committed any crime. That is their perception, and I would respect that. It's their opinion. But looking at the facts, TRRCB is not like a drama. It's not like a storytelling meeting. It was a fact-finding mission. Bohamne is legal. It was set up to set the record straight. And we have seen so many weaknesses. ñoo xam ne ñëw nañ and confirm nañ ne they've committed crimes either in the name of Jammeh or under Jammeh's authority. So man, si struggle bi yàgg naa wax, sometimes it's like, as a head of state, it's not every crime that is committed under your leadership yoo xam ne yow you have a direct influence or order nga ko. Waaye su fekkee ne such crimes dem nañ to the public, you need to come out and disassociate sa boppa or nga do the needful, wherein you can set commissions or investigations ñoo xam ne dinañ gestu those crimes, and anybody found wanting in committing that crime should be prosecuted. And we have not seen any of that happen under Jammeh. So security-wise, looking at Jammeh, he still have a very solid supporters in the Gambia, and APRC is still fully functional. So danga gis ne Jammeh su waree dellu si, even if he wants to just go and sit in Kanilai, it is not going to be that easy, because some of his supporters would still want him back into the leadership, and then that could cause a lot of stir politically in the country. It could cause a lot of kind of security unrest in the country. And he has a right, of course, he has a right as a citizen pour mu wara dellu. Why you have to understand, some of us who have been refugees here, so seek protection, duñ la dee allow nga dellu to the home country. Be pare henna so ame any document or anything lo xam ne dafa relate to home country, dañ dee ne yow you are no longer feeling unsecure. Why danga gis ne ñun as ordinary people, we are unlike Jammeh. Jammeh was a former head of state. So his circumstance is completely different from our own situation as former refugees. So su ñëwee su delluwaat Gambia, su fekkoon henna comme like li ma waxoon comparé ko Mo Jawara, it would have been easy for him to come back, ñu jox ko statementship ak yooyu. Waaye danga gis ne the alleged crimes yiñ teg si boppam bi su waree ñëw, not only Gambia, let's say for instance Senegal, I don't know ndax nguuri Jomaay bi are still interested, but time in Macky, the Senegalese government, was interested in Jammeh, because ñoom dañ hold on the opinion ne Jammeh moo nekk di sponsor the Casamance rebel. So for that matter, the Senegalese may want to, find out, ask him, what was his role si Casamance rebel weg yooyu. Looking at the Ghanaians, ñoo xam ne rey nañ leen, loolu is a crime against humanity. So internationally, du mun a am immunity against that. So su waree ñëw Gambia, and then I think some time ago, America tamit, they had interest ne. I think it was linked with that former Guinea-Bissau soldier, Assis, I think you can help me on that. I think this drug trafficking ag so that was related to Jammeh, and then the Americans were interested in that as well. So henna ñooñu dinañ ko soxla si loolu. For instance, assuming all things being equal, Barrow ne ko na ñëpp si mu ñëw. So you buga put international pressure on Barrow. For instance, like Donald Trump, Limwa, Nigeria, if you have not acted in protecting the Christians against Boko Haram, America would, come in and do whatever military action, take military action against the government. And we have seen the Nigerian president rescinding and then trying to appease Lolo. Imagine Jammeh wara ñëw in the Gambia and America ne Barrow ne we want Jammeh. If you don't give us Jammeh, we're gonna do this and that. Do you think Barrow is going to sit and say, no, I'm not going to hand Jammeh to you? And obviously, if Barrow ne dafa arrest Jammeh, put ko even on the hard arrest, his loyalists would come out. They would demonstrate. So ñooñu suñu waree génn war a demonstrate for Jammeh and his freedom and his normal life, the victims and their families, ñooñu tamit dañoo génn, they would want to seek justice. ñooñu suñu waree génn, obviously, I don't think the police or the army can contain Lolu. So Lolu is going to destabilize Nguri Barrow. While looking at flipping the coin on the other side, looking at it, so Juge wane Barrow dafa ragal, dafa feel insecure with Jammeh. And I feel that to be a little bit ironical. Because for instance, yo ngane danga ragal nit ki, waaye kooku the same security apparatus yim fa bay, ñooñu fa nekk, you are using the same people. People like Sidi Njai, people like Fabakary Tombong Jatta, ñoo xam ne ñooñu they sticks their necks out for Jammeh, ne Jammeh du génn dëkk bi dafa lifin Barrow du fa suwa in ak yooyu. And you take those same people, you surround yourself with them. Then we have seen léegi, those are the same people that are campaigning, going around for Jammeh to return. So naka la Barrow di waxee ne he does feel comfortable for Jammeh return? It doesn't make sense. So he needs to kind of guess toward Bopam Buba and then try to, clean his house, because I think his house is really messy. He needs to clean it. Bala muhala ñëwi Jammeh ak ñaka ñëwi Jammeh. Assis, I'll let you come in this legi, and then we'll carry on from here. Thanks to see you back. Buñ gaay foog ne ñun ñaar ñoo ànda si de, because ñu ne gëj nañ fi te ñëw naa rek ñëw nga.
Right.
Yaa ngi mute.
No, I think as you are on the virtual is not working. You're on a virtual background. Your virtual is not working. If you can see your background, and then your microphone is on mute as well. So try rejoining. I don't know. I think it's not coming. Your mic is not. Yeah, try rejoining, but you need to allow, because when you're using virtual, try and allow every questions, because if not, it will not let you do it. If you look at your background, you can see the flipping thing going on there. It's like virtual. So if you try rejoining again, as is, please. Is that okay? Thank you. Yeah, rejoining. Yeah, all right, cheers. All right, and then your thoughts politically.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just want us to go back, because man, who is this man?
Mm-hmm.
Can I Jammeh? Ki moy kan, because they just comments and then seeing even his supporters, they gotta send right then. But we are talking about a brutal man. We are not talking about a president or president who come like Suleiman talk about Jawara's time. We are not talking about those kind of incident, even though they were incidents. We're talking about a brutal man. Ko hamne TRRC bi daf ko fine ne he directly, his direct orders, at least 240 unlawful killing directly. That's what they found on this president. At the same time, this is the same man you find he carried out lots of killings by his own people, jungle as him create tamit. And ñu ngi gis even bi guy neke kanilai this couple of days ñu ngi def preparation the clean up, they are getting the green boys to be also prepared, and again we are seeing another new development yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko gis ne ñu ngi prepare jonglers pour ñu pare. What does that the green boys does that is that load of turn again to jonglers? What is it? Xamuñ sax what is going on, which I guess the government need to look at that. But pare this is the same man bu ñoo wax ne Reina, a lot of opponents and political opponents, I ñoo xam ne politicians ñu ko oppose, ay militaire, ay journalist, ay civilian, over 240 killings unlawfully yoo xam ne TRC bi moo ko document confirm ko ne this were directly under his orders. This is the same man benn nit kii nii la ñoo wax ne moo torture personally order ay torture lii faxi TRC bi génna because fu njaare delluwaat ba xam ban nit la ñoo wax kan la ñoo wax nii. This is this man TRC bi found ko ne personally torture yi daf leen order personally ba pare institutions yi nga xam ne ñoo doon torture en naka NIA all these institutions yi jongu la say moo leen doon oversee si ondam la nekkutoon sax ne nga laaxa koof straight la. This is the same man bi ñoo wax ne tamit dafa authorize door electrify nit ñi all kinds of mock execution. This is the man we are talking about. So yi yep ñu ngi xew si NIA headquarters si jongula yi seen néeg yi ñu defar yooyu yëpp gis nañ ko dégg nañ ko si TRC néeg yu ñu jël luwaas leen fii ak fële néeg yi ñu defar foofu noonu mile to prison bi police detention center. This is a man we are talking about because fu ñu jaaree yóbbu affaire si back to this context pour nit ñi mën a understand ne this is a brutal man. Then also disappear ñoo xam ne mënu leen rey xamul nu he just oh yeah it's echoing. He just makes sure they disappeared. ñooñu dafa make sure ne ñooñu réer kenn gisut leen nit ñaa ngi useen nit ñi ba léegi gisuñ leen. This is this man bi TRC yone ñeena ñi sax dañ leen rey suul leen secretly kenn mu seen nit ñi mënuñ leen a find again. This is man bi la ñoo wax nii. And this is the same man bu TRC bi wone ne rape and sexual violence against women def na ko te lii tamit yuñ find out la in the TRRC ne emul si rey rek emul si nit ñi disappear emul si dóor emul si electrify waaye dafa teddoo jigéen ñi ba pare sexually violate leen. This is this man. This is the same man bu ñoo wax ne toog na fi jël suñ nit ñi oolee ñoom ñëpp doma jël leen ne ay doma laa dem di leen hunt doma laa dem roba di roba doma yi di dem uti leen jël suñ nit ñi toon leen tu doma tocco leen duga jox leen garab yoo xam ne sax kenn xamul lan la and really destroyed. These are facts yi ñi ñoo xew ba pare at the same time this is the same man di forcer nit ñi force labor bi loolu yëpp si TRC bi la jógee whereby ñuy jël nit ñi ñu dem liggéeyal ko si faama mi si kanilaay faama mi place mi fu mu la soxla dangaa dem nga liggéey ba bugg a dee because you have to do it, you are so scared. This is the man we are talking about. This is the man boo xam ne dafa toog ku ko neex rek mu jël arrest ñu diseen la charge la illegally tëj la prison with no other reason lu ko neex mu charge la ko su la laygee laygut la he can just use it def lu ko neex dafa amoon power boo xam ne amul control. This is this man. This is the lii la TRC fine. This is the man ko xam ne amul lum defut opposition yi time boobu doo ko kenn du ko oppose opposition bi sax fi mu strong on mooy diaspora bi. After you have, of course, UDP and all these people coming up to against it, but Ken Amuton fit. Everybody has to just toe his line. This is the man we are talking about. This is the man nga xamne migrants im ray Suleiman wana si guy Ghanaian si ñu ray. This is the same man. This is the same man. Jane commission bi brutality, ray nit ñi, torture, electrify, rape, sexually violate people, TRC below fan. This is the man Jana Commission bi tamit wone ne suñ xaalisim sàcca tey dëgg la Barrow moom he made things worse but moom Jammeh ak li moo toog di ooye boppam pan-africanism di ooye boppam dafa bugg a Gambian bi bugg a doomi Gambian bi Gambian laa liggéey mu ngi liggéey dëkk bi is the same man ku sàcca suñ aleli hundreds of houses yoo xam ne moo ko moom loolu tamit gis nañ ko si Jana Commission hundreds of millions of dollars, billions yoo xam ne he diverted yëpp gis nañ ko si Janna commission bi di jël banque xaalis yi daf koo jël dafa toore jëleel ma isil ma nga yóbbul ma isil ma demal jëli xaalis demal isil yi and he is like Allah's bank la ko doon oyee waaye all along li Yahya Jammeh doo wax Allah's bank nekkete public bank bi la nekk di sàcca di ko yóbbu. This is the guy who has wrecked this country and turned us to beggars. This is the guy also bi ñoo wax ni for 22 years all what he taught Gambians within that generation is brutality. Killing, murder, brutality. That's what he taught. This is the guy who gave us a society with psychological, mental, and social challenges we are facing today. So this is the man we know right now. So Key is like a demon. He is not somebody we should take lightly. Likely. Even Nico supports shouldn't be taken also lightly because this is a man who document, who proof, who def everything one ne lila def. Amud nobu neku ne ndeya ko jo di wane lila def, neku ne Suleyman mo wane lila def, or Mustafa mo ne lila def, neku ne Sky Power mo wane lila def. This is the family dañ la yóbbu court bi fine li ak li nga def and it's documented, witness yi gis nañ leen. So waa ji la ñoo wax koo xam ne tey dafa taxaw the test power, the test the power of the state. So as this new living, then as this can.
I just want to add one other thing. I think Nguri Barrow Bitamit is complacent in Jammeh because Nyoko Gena emboldened. Because Barrow allow na Jammeh muy time political campaign muy call si political rally on the GDC muy wax li ko ne wedi oye Barrow mbaam. Barrow gis nañ ne jóg na dem na Kanilai seeti family Yahya Jammeh. Why would he do that? Musuñoo gis Jammeh jóg dem seeti family Jawara.
No.
It's never. So lan la Barrow, what was his idea or what was his reason behind them to visit family Jammeh? Luta legi mu wara joke until now the one wow he's the commander-in-chief and Jammeh Hamna when he was in power, what he has, the powers he has, etc. And he has those same powers. So why now?
Yeah, I think the problem being
understand. I think he's just a lazy leader. Barrow is a very lazy leader. That they just wait for things and then he reacts.
Man, I think
he's more of a reactionary leader. And I think Fofula Ute Jammeh was very bold. Jammeh Hamna Limbuga Jammeh was decisive. But for Barrow, I think he is just the opposite of Jammeh. Quite opposite.
Mandama Tegne Barrow, I think Aziz is coming in. Dama Tegne Barrow is lazy, that's one thing. But Barrow is greedy too. Because greed be more tax ba nga xamne Barrow li mo gis rek moy mom interestam and holut interest dëkk bi because su jiitaloon interest dëkk bi su lazy woon sax dina act dina am nu moo acté su lazy woon sax du isi gaay Yahya Jammeh yi def leen si biir place mais ni Gambie dafa ñàkka ñu am xam-xam dafa ñàkka ñu mun a liggéey dëkk bi dafa ñàkka ñu am knowledge of knowledge of the government and the state and governance dafa ñàkka amul kuy wara ron dëkk bi gannaaw gaay Yahya Jammeh. So man dama believe ne Barrow is very greedy and very dangerous as well because they can underestimate. We really underestimated Barrow and we are seeing it. Fana Aziz Angenyo, Aziz, I don't know yang ñoo dega.
Wow, Manglendi dega, why I am struggling to connect to suma Wi-Fi, so it's my phone like waheni.
Yeah.
Yes, my Wi-Fi we would be correct. I will switch over. Why Dylan jaajëfal ci waxtaan bi neex na trop. I've missed a lot, so probably I may not be able to connect coherently. Why I'm just gonna follow the topic mooy ñëwi Yahya Jammeh into the Gambia. What would that mean? Is it security-wise, national security-wise, well, and what else?
Yes, both security politically.
And political. Wow, it's a very interesting topic. Why I think they did the job for me by kind of
establishing,
articulating, laying out the charges, the legal charges, but citizens or public charges against Yahya Jammeh. From bim ñëwee power bim demee lim fi def ci ay yahoo and how he even attempted to socially engineer the society. Better we have, I mean, Yahya lim fi nekk is about 22 years, right? Xale juddu ci jamono dem nañ ba war a mun a takka jabar. Most of those people, same thinking is aligned with Lilen Yahya Gomlo. So, that is the impact. Being a community educate. Why socially, lulu mo nekati teli those young people. Only if Yahya had a fabari. Comme Nico Ndey wahe ak Suleiman, Yahya went above and beyond only Yahalwa Gambia. Yahya reina fi ay Ghanaians, reina fi ay Senegalese. Bulen fateni amonna a Senegalese prisoner, Tabara. Is it Tabara Samba or something like that? Was executed. Ne mana bo hamne andu tak luari. Yo yep xewna fi. Americans see same interest. You remember those Sise, Mahmoud, is it Mahmoud Sise or something like that?
Yeah, Americans. Yeah.
Yes, those are American citizens, and America is interested. Why itam Yahya Jele Kofi was not a Gambia project alone. It's an international project, a regional project, backed by international community. Pour Jele Kofi. Lita moi limfidef. That international community still have an interest in prosecuting Jammeh. Would they let Yahya just come and sit down? We don't think. The Yakarnane Barrow government, which is the full dara, is gonna come under a lot of pressure. Now, coming to security, national security wise, I don't think Yahya Amatina that influence. Even bu Ame loyalists, they are not in strategic positions to be able to undermine this government. Yes, I'm not loyalist, but as far as I can see, amunyu any strategic position.
Yeah, I just want you to make that clear. Amud that status, are you referring to the police and the army, or you just referring to his, civil supporters?
No, he's loyalist within the security forces. I will come to the political side. Why Damubuga in the security side of it, the national security threat aspect of it. Yahya return will not result in, say, insurgency. No, Yahya lose that credibility already. Nikodan back, the MFDC rebels, they are so weakened that Amatunyu any influence. Amatunyuko. And the current Senegalese government will not align with any group that is trying to undermine the Gambia, because it also poses a threat to them. So yes, he will have people within the army in Yohamne, they will wish he would have come back because they are in disadvantaged position. The soldiers Sundaw Singa Hamne si Jamano Nyungi fi won, niñ leen yaaxee woon xam nga loolu amatut. They might be missing that, but national security wise no, except su fekkee ne itam government jëluñ seen matuwaay. Lan mooy matuwaay government mooy Yaya bu ñëwee ñu arrest ko immediately yóbbu ko to jail. Te am naa yaakaar ne from the things I am seeing on the ground, Yaya bu laanee at the airport, he's gonna be arrested and taken to jail. Léegi nag buñ arresté Yaya yóbbu ko to jail, foofu la ñoo xalaat what's gonna happen. Dina am protest. And if government is able to stand firm on its ground, that protest will die down. Parce que lita Yaya amatut that influence politically. His party bi nga xam ne ci moom la gënoon a yaakaar dafa split. Te ñim splital in as much as they were his former loyalists. The one thing they know ku xam Yaya is that Yaya coming back bu seen jàmm ñoom. So yes, ñoom Sidi Njie, ñoom Fabakary Tombong, you name them, Yaya coming back to power du seen jàmm. They're not going to allow that. Barrow will never allow Yaya.
Surprisingly, Fabakary Tombong Jatta is distributing those letters to authorities for the return of Jammeh. So yeah. If Fabakary believes the return of Jammeh, Nekut Jammeh, why would he venture into that aspect?
Well, it's gonna be a wrong calculation. Lolu dina len ko wax. Xam nañ who is Jammeh. So for me, politically, dina protest. Why? Protest eventually will die down.
I think if I come in here quickly, Assis, looking at the current circumstance in the Gambia, gis nañ protest yi dee xew, and they're just normal protest, and we have seen the police reaction, and gis nañ lan na dee xew, you know, mistakes yi yoo xam ne daf they cause people's injuries, serious bodily harm ak death. So nga imagine Jammeh ñëw, some of his lawyers, excuse me for saying this, why some of his loyalists dama leen dee gisee as the former slaves, time is slavery. am nga the house slave ak the farm slaves. So the house slaves, were closer to their masters, and ñoom for them duñ daan gis ne seen masters yi ñu ngi leen a abuse with everything you don't def guy, then feel on they were better than the slaves who were in the farms. So some of Jammeh's loyalists are more like the house slaves. Ñoom ak li leen Jammeh mundi def gisee wuñ ko as anything loo xam ne is wrong or is nasty. For them, they feel ne ñoom ak Jammeh benn lañ. To a point ñooñu seen masters yi suñ feebaroon ñu ne are we sick, are we this, they don't even distinguish ne master bi ak ñoom. So they see the master as part of them. So mënuñu gis abuse bi. So for instance, Sidi Njie mun nañu wax ne léegi mu ngi si Barrow, you can claim ne am na some loyalty to Barrow. Why Sidi was one of those people ñu xam ne ñu ngi taxawoon di wax ne Jammeh du génn dëkk bi te Barrow duñ ko swear in. Bañ na ko be Jammeh doon dem, he went. And after bim demee gis ne xen na lim comme li nga wax yahu bim doon am ak mbégte ak ne ministerial position bi amatu ko foofu, he had to bend his tail mu lem génnam bi mu ñëw di dogo waat si gannaaw Barrow dem si yaayam ak all those things, Barrow jëlaat ko. If Barrow was a wise leader, a leader boo xam ne dafa am vision, he would have looked into Fabakary Tombong, he would have looked into Sidi Njie balaa mu jël ñooñu di leen boole ci booram.
léegi Souleymane I just want to bring a scenario pour ngeen understand fi may waxe. How strong was Jammeh when he was leaving at 10 compared the two? Bamo them into exile.
Imneka legi amatul any of the executive powers.
Okay, legi even in terms of popular support. Dama yaakaar ne lim amoon ca ba muy dem ci airport bi amatu ko.
You'll be mistaken.
No,
you'll be mistaken. When it comes to security-wise, I can still say with certainty, Jammeh still has a handful of security officers. They are in our uniform and we are paying them. They are loyal to Jammeh.
No, Mom. There is no doubt.
The civil society. We have seen people. Obviously, you get the demonstrate for na Jammeh nyipsi. People Jammeh dafa talk, they call the one dahanala sisuma party, in the one nala sisuma party, and those people they still gather and listen to Jammeh. So politically, Jammeh still has influence in the Gambia.
Okay,
Suleiman.
And
I can tell you this for free. Jammeh, let's say, assuming all things being equal, Jammeh suwarona delwa tay, ñu allow ko mo baro, dina ko door be melni.
Hamga Suleiman. Solen madoge, dolen muna this analysis
Okay, all right.
I am let me throw it there, then get weko because linyo wane linyo si jarud yurndo dina exi. Te dumune mungenyo November lawa. Maybe by this time next week we'll be saying anafandla nega. Why I'm knowing Jammeh the type of person Jammeh can lie at will te duko wani dara. I will not be surprised muto be November kende guko mune ay kilifa ko ñanak dafa buga safe country. We know who Jammeh is. Why lima buga wax moy dole bi fi jele Jammeh bete mu fi. If it is the military might moko fi jele mu fi moy lan di ECOWAS economic. Xam nga dama buga ngeen understand lolu. Jammeh singi mu yaakaaroon already tasaroon. Of course, I'm not still loyalist. Lulu mom cannot have even within the public service. What power do they have to bring about change? Lulu mo here. Demonstration be gena biñu wara gena ragal moy victims yi job asking for justice. Any day Jammeh land here on the ground arrest ko. It's not the APRC demonstration mom la ñoo ragal. No. Da ngeen ragal demonstration victims and civil society will get up. Political parties will get up and join them. That is the
exactly fofu la doon waxe pour dolel li nga wax rek. Xam nga ñooñu suñ génnee APRC some of his loyalists génna. It's common in the Gambia. Let's say time 3 years jotna. Bi 3 years jotna jote, you had another group bo xamne ñu ne ñoom they supporting Barrow pour muste. So da nga gis ne ñooñu suñu waré collide, and I can tell you for free ne Jammeh su ñëwé these victims gainer demonstrate, you would have some elements from Jammeh's supporters ñoo xamne they would want to come in, and that is where the problem would be.
So fofu is just how to coordinate that. Why the APRC part of it.
So my question is, do you think the current police setup is prepared to manage that well, to manage and control that crowd?
Yes, I think police know what it takes. I don't know if they have the courage, because you can have what it takes, but you may not have the courage. Yes, there you go ahead.
And as he said, I agree with Suleiman, because Madam they feel that the Jammeh has lots of cells that are there and these things, and I don't see Barrow having the competent to address this. Looking at also the economic situation of the country is very easy. Barrow Morgan, Jammeh and Morgan Barrow. But where from agree as is moine, listening to Jammeh saying arrest me and put me in jail, I am not afraid. Ragaruma pour them court. Mandama ko gisee ne Jammeh mu ngi wax loyalism yi. Man loolu laa ko gisee ne this message directly typically because if you agree again mooy ne Jammeh xam na ne amatu that relevance APRC split nañ amatu that stronghold so li moo def this thing of arrestment man ragaluma dem jail is speaking pour loyalism yi as well as of course the victims also because they are there I mean man ragaluma dara dinaa ñëw court face leen security sector bi sel si fa nekk that's where ma agree ak Suleiman because bu ngee wax sel sim am mu ngi leen a won ne man Jammeh ba léegi man maa ngi fa ba pare of course psychologically ma dee wax nit ñi na ma ne psychological warfare la then you also have the political base bi nga wax ni Aziz political base bi dafa split and Jammeh xam na ne dafa shrink so he need to strengthen that so that also this whole message also is back to the political base parti bi split na ba pare gis na ne relevance amul so fu mu jaar génne audio yi directly lii man dama ko gisee ne loyalism yi laa waxal base bi laa waxal is not Barrow at all no bi pour moom la but this threat is not to him because Yahya have to like kenn du ma stop kenn mënu ma stop dinaa ñëw is showing his people ne bu leen give up
Ndey recently Yahya dismiss na party executive am be daanaka moom kenn moo fa des gis naa ne nag bi mu buggee ñëw mu ngi start to rally ne forgive na ñëpp you may forgive them but they will no longer trust you they will not am nañ a gullible majority ñi nga xam ne ñoom they don't even look at country ñoom Yahya rek lañ gis when we're gonna see them manifest into xam nga xëj na benn protest 2-3 days but it's gonna die down te lii tamu die down quickly mooy if government act immediately and decisively
Aziz fi ma agree sol mooy suma problème mooy ne Yahya ngi am loyalist security services that are serving now Yahya ngi am loyalist with Fabakary Tombong even though yaa ngi wax ne Fabakary Tombong ak Sidi Njie is not their interest pour Jammeh ñëw but these people are loyal Fabakary Tombong dafa sol suñ jacket yi suñ speaker gawon bi sit in the speaker room di wax ne di trust TRC bi Fabakary Tombong si boppam defoon na fi rally AFPRC si biir discussion boobu mu ngi wax ne am na këri Yahya Jammeh yiñ luwaas government bi sax xamu ko jaana commission bi sax xamu ko léegi Jammeh dafa am people who there are people who participated in the
no, it's true
government so this is where the problem is
léegi I want us to create a scenario assuming ñooñu yëpp ñu ngi fa let's say am nañ loyalism what can they do that's the question
I think what they can do, there's a lot they can do.
Okay.
One, for instance, if Jammeh su arrive, guy arrest ko from the airport and yóbbu ko to mile 2. At the airport, they may not have access to the terminal, but they can block the entrance or the exit of the airport.
I don't think.
Anyway, we've seen, let's say, for instance, Mr. Bojang, suma boss nga, and then looking at for me, damay follow history and premises events you hamne occurring, and then you can relate to those events. So they phone is let's say just Bondali alone, that village comes out, and you see airport be and forms a crowd. Pour Jammeh ñëw ñu xam ne Jammeh su ñëwee arrest nañ ko. You think there wouldn't be 1 or 2 people ñu xam ne dañoo taxaw si kanami moto bi ne Jammeh du romba moto boobu du romba?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyway,
we are talking security, right?
Wow.
No.
Aziz, we can have
it will not have impact.
Because man, looking at the police, ni ñoo handle ak manage demonstrations. Yow da nga gis ne crowd bi dafa ñëw instead of police command bi ko xam ne moo lead the platoon buy control ak manage crowd bi wara ñëw identify the leaders and speak to them and find out lañ leen buga ak wax leen ne seen sartay lii ak lii la. Why they would come disrespectfully try to provoke those people, and then once those people are provoked, the whole idea of Lingdan demonstrate ñu fàtte loolu ñoom ñu door di manhandle the protesters ak yooyu so loolu moo de cause that problem and I know for a fact ne Jammeh su ñëwee you would have some people ñoo xam ne they are disoriented and when I say disoriented waxuma ñoo xam ne they are mentally not there also but they are disoriented emotionally and physically and when they are there they can cause issues wherein the police would react unprofessionally and that could lead into something else and then these victims also
gis nañ Bamba if yaa ngi tànga
Yahya Jammeh. So Bamba is Yahya Jammeh here.
Yeah, but exactly, that is good to have as Bamba here today. Because
don't mind Bamba, xam nga cruise am bi boobu lañ ko takkee malayka yi suñ ko jàppee cruise bi nekk si baatam bi lañ ko xëcca drag ko.
Why, Aziz, back to Suleiman Diwa. Aziz, there is one factor we also forget. We already have a situation in the Gambia where we have almost like a parallel government. When I say parallel government, you have Barrow's government and you have UDP government. Now, Jammeh coming, we are having this parallel authority. Again, we know what into the factor. Where Jammeh is our president, you will have some of them saying that, especially in the Fonyi. You will have those people also in the Fonyi who say that they don't recognize Barrow as their president. Jammeh is Fonyi land or Fonyi president. This has happened in Cote d'Ivoire. It has happened in Mali. You have parallel authorities. So this is also possible. So there is a lot of conflicting things here that law hamne this very day. Part of you direct, part of you dugal ñu soup.
No,
dugal ñu soup.
Ndey dama bëgg ñu situate suñu def security assessment.
Yeah.
Dañ ko assess realistically.
Yeah.
And realistically, Jammeh ñëwam dina am na social instability. Xam nga li may wax here and there. Why security wise and of course social instability, if they allow it to fester, may result to a security threat. That scenario is there. Why if government to take all the necessary steps, take gis naa ne government am koy def. How man da bàyyi ngeen xel the DG SIS dafa dem prison. They say visit. Man, as far as I am concerned, dafa dem pour seet Lali Jammeh da defar nañ ko.
But that is good news. That will be really good news.
Yes, it's on the news.
Waaye dem na si human rights office bi tamit gis naa ko mu ngi dem human rights office.
Waaw xam nga dafa dem pour defar Lali Jammeh. Pour check that they are really ready for him, that lal nañ dara bi yek cuuraay yep. Yes, Bamba want to come in.
Bamba, assalamu alaikum. Ngal konton altonal konton la. Jata balu alla programu ka dia bakela nte dal bi mulun tawti bari mfamata bakela. Bulu ko Kenya kamala. Bari mbela moyla kendo lumbal tentu lambal jaila. Pour alka bulanyum forumo no manyamen alka programul sea. Mustafa mbe konton nan Great Iron Lady Sister mbe konton na nying runaway police officer fulo mbal farambe konton yo bari albe topico men kachaka is very interesting bari nte kam mem mira ani maybe Gambian ol kam mem mira ilafta fatala demanding yes Jammeh mota balino la pour kana Gambia in my view Jammeh nanata Gambia ba mutalale that's 100%. But fo ba mutala at the airport le bang, fo ba mutala kanilai le bang, fo ba batula fona tata la soko ne ya mutaje, I don't know. But Jammeh te taranola Gambia, barobe Gambia, we are heading towards elections. Barola government fonte o handle nola. So membe kela wala munyinte ko nanata, he will be arrested. How mawolong. But ko kelin so fanam fo atodong Aziz mo jamal be jem mammen understand wole mo the indemnity clause. The indemnity clause yes, Supreme Court has ruled it as unconstitutional. But let us also ask ourselves and be the devil's advocate. Has the courts any right to call the law unconstitutional? Because courts only interpret laws, they don't make laws. I know the courts can overrule itself. We do know that, and that is the only court that can do that is the Supreme Court. Supreme Court the male say fan overrule no. But alinga bula constitution no mabangaju beba. Yeah, many people mamel long wala munyentiko. The Supreme Court in 2001 ruled against the National Assembly's amendment to Section 13. But it is only part of Section 13, not the original Section 13. Nyanda sila lenganyin kolu kacha. Because yalo mojamabe social media, they made themselves legal experts. They don't know that the law is very slippery.
I think
Yahya Jammeh, now a very important legal luminary soul sort of to defend him. Our Gambian courts may not be competent enough to prosecute him because he has ruled that country, and the very constitution member prosecutor, that constitution was signed into law by Jammeh, and that is number one. Number two, Jammeh has managed to change that constitution 50 times to suit him. There are provisions in that constitution that have already shielded the president from future prosecutions. Maybe hybrid courts in ECOWAS or in AU or in the UN courts, maybe they might be too powerful. But most of the time, former presidents are normally charged or normally prosecuted through hybrid courts, like Hussein Habre of Chad in Senegal, and others and others and others. So, Ninkombe Jammeh Sambala Nankana domestic laws will use to prosecute him. Remember, Jammeh has foreseen these things before, and Gambians need to be very careful.
Bamba,
yes,
already you've answered your own question. Adungamira, we are not following the proceedings or the statements from government and the Ministry of Justice. Yemem Foteng, it's true. Na courts be tomorrow we need some constitutional amendment to be able to prosecute Jammeh. That being said, they can set hybrid courts, and that is where they are going towards. That's where government is leaning towards. And all the frameworks, as far as I'm concerned, I think a lot of them have been in place. It's now the logistics that they are working on. Jammeh Nafangu and his arrest will fast track those logistics to enable the establishment of a hybrid court. Secondly, we can have our local courts, but we are part of the international community and we've signed conventions. Gross human rights abuse cannot be excused under any presidential immunity. There you go ahead.
Aziz, that's what I want to tell Bamba, that the indemnity clause doesn't protect anyone on international crime, also this rape and sexual violence, torture, disappearance, and crimes against humanity, and murder. It doesn't protect you. And don't forget, again, as Bamba yourself, you said, Yafo, Ghana, even Barrow can be taken to Switzerland, ICC, all these things. So there is, he can slip, but not.
I think,
absolutely. So we still have a depending on Barrow. The biggest problem is, does Barrow have the political will to prosecute Jammeh? Do they have? Because Bamba, you are talking about arresting, and even Aziz Fanaya Fuleko, they can arrest him, you will just be arrested. My feelings is that Barrow, if Jammeh happens to come, Barrow will just take Jammeh and say, we are doing house arrest for him somewhere in Kanila or whatever. And then the case start going on and on and on. This is my take on the thing. I'm not seeing Jammeh landing in Gambia, Barrow taking Jammeh to prison. Why? Barrow already is in bed with AFPRC. And there are a couple of agreements. One of the reasons, part of the things that Fabaka Toma have said, repeated on and on again, is their reason for joining with Barrow is for Jammeh to come back and be a normal head of state and all these things and all his dues. So now, these people, Fabakary Tombong and Sidinjai, to make sure the presidential immunity is passed through. No, the presidential what you need, like as a president, your rights and all these dues you have is in place. So now, if Barrow comes in, if Jammeh comes in, for me, honestly, I cannot be convinced now that Barrow will take Jammeh to prison. He will take him down for house arrest, and Jammeh, don't forget, would be entitled to the dues for now, as the court proceeding is going on. It can take us ages. This is me, my take on this. I
think the is the Barrow government ready, and is it prepared to do the needful?
Yeah.
I think, as is believed, they are doing the right thing.
Yes.
Why, for me, I think Barrow is just so say they were kuto dalem fonyo kensen neka fundije.
Yes, I will buy
that. Looking at hen again for the first time, mangi gis mungi tontu. Wow, and momoy I'm a commander in chief, blah blah, like all those things. Why, for me, what I find definitely uncomfortable with is, even though he claims he is, and he is, why Landmota Momuara joke did them visit Jammeh's family in Kanilai? Exactly. Why would he go to bed with people hamne nyomwe Jammeh enablers? So lutamwe empower nyonyo.
Can I answer that?
Yes, please.
It was a political calculation. It was not genuine.
Exactly.
It was not genuine.
Even.
It's just a transactional visit. What is in it for me?
Now, as is not only that, I think Jammeh did that in 2021 to get as many APRC votes as he can.
Exactly.
Because at that time, Jammeh Barrow had just made alliance with the APRC, and there were so many on-the-ground movements going on with Fabakary Tombong and others, telling people that Jammeh himself had sanctioned our alliance with Barrow before the split, before things split between the NATO alliance faction and that of Matunga Fomanika County. Janning ibe janjanna Barrow nim Fabakary nyolo la plano momenti wala mu Barrow eta kanilai Yahya Jammeh family nim visit for media and political purposes. I agree in Sontan Dale and they mem for Kavoko, Barrow tell Avelaka Jammeh prosecute. Because Nimbaro left Jammeh prosecute.
Na concern me menti, saying assuming we are entering into the political period come December. And I know Jammeh is not coming because B is 22nd November. So he said he's coming in November. He did not give any date. Kabringa mandate di Ntenga Lonko. This man is just talking for the sake of talking. Because November is 30 days. So
I agree with you. Jammeh is not coming in November. But yalong nin debate mo be may be precipitate is the governmental lack of willingness to at least give recipe or give closure to the victim's plight. Because bring Baroya accept to give emergency visa or emergency passport to Solbaji and Co in Equatorial Guinea, fast-tracked by the immigration department. Wale ya itandin telako Barola willingness to prosecute Jammeh is 0.0. Yalong Gambia fonga tuonyala fonyoe. Barrow is playing a political game. And wale mbulandi nyimkuo nyimbeko. Ni Yahya Jammeh.
Okay, ni banko mala ta tele banko mala.
He doesn't care. Mbele ngalonko Barrow fongole assign then director of immigration prior approved ka emergency passport dada for Solbaji and Co in Equatorial Guinea. That was how they managed to fly back to Banjul. And Birinata Banjul, what happened? Nothing. Absolutely. Victims, so many people were adversely mentioned.
If I were at the time head of the security, I would screen him.
Yeah, but Sol, arrest. The order would come from the top, like they always say during the meeting.
I would not release.
They would fire you and appoint somebody else.
Because I'm doing my job. So that release. Because this is what they need to do. You understand?
No.
The order from the top, Ning order is illegal. To hell with it. I am employed to do my duty. I will do it to the best of my ability because I'm sworn on the Quran ko mbenna duty execute la. Near feel ko I cannot. I'm not doing it. Get me out of the place and I'll go. But I will not be there. Young employee put in that place and nyanta doko minkela yafunte okela. No, I will not do that. So why would I?
What Barrow is what yeah, this is Barrow and Yahya Jammeh, they are the same. What Yahya Jammeh is doing actually, testing Barrow's leadership. This is a challenge to Barrow's leadership.
But it's weak. Barrow's leadership is weak and lazy.
I hear you.
I know that.
So and this is where Barrow has a problem.
Limhead UDP musuta disrespect a lawyer Dabo. And anybody in his public rallies, if you stand and want to speak anything against Dabo, they tell off, and then he gets you out of that rally. Why he said Barrow is a donkey.
He said that, yeah. He did say that.
Barrow is a donkey. That's how he sees him. So you think if Barrow was effective, didn't allow Jammeh Diwad Robi Simowa? No, he wouldn't.
So, man, I have a question. Maybe you will help me, or Bamba and any of you. What has changed for Yahya to now want to come? Yahya seems to be in a palace in Equatorial Guinea. From what we understand, he's giving farmland, he's farming. What has changed? Why does he want to leave all that?
Can I quickly answer that for you?
I think as refugees, no,
Yahya Jammeh knows that elections is around the corner 2026.
Mm-hmm.
He is playing a very, very smart political game.
Correct.
Knowing fully well that Barrow's popularity is diminishing.
Mm-hmm.
He has got a very important political chip because Jammeh has got almost 5 members of the National Assembly backing him. And they always give him daily updates. As is, you are a former police officer, you know. They always give him daily briefings because what is happening now is government is rushing to amend section 13, subsection 3 of the Constitution through Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And when that was tabled by the Minister of Justice, Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the MPs informed Jammeh. And Jammeh knows that once that is done, it will be very, very difficult for him to have a bargaining chip. So what he wants to do is either he thinks other oppositions might approach him for an alliance, or APRC might approach him for an alliance, because right now they need both groups need him, because right now all oppositions are talking about a coalition to defeat an incumbent. Because everybody is saying, especially within social media, ko nimman coalition o kente Jammeh ente Barrow bondi nolaje. And Gambians are desperate, like when it was Jammeh's time, how we were desperate in 2016. So Jammeh, not being stupid, knows very well that he also has a stake to play. And that's why Jammeh always wants to be relevant with the APRC NATO alliance. And that was one of the reasons he called them to. Jammeh could have just made an audio, but he wanted them to go to Kanilai to show a political force so that all politicians can see the crowd, and he would address them at that meeting. And that was what happened. Jammeh is playing a very, very smart political game, not actually coming. Then you can go ahead.
I agree with Bamba Mas there, because Jammeh is again testing Barrow's strength. He's testing the loyalty of the armies. He's testing the reaction of the people in Fonyi, which we see already. It's out there. It works. He is also testing his popularity, and he's also using fear, because Jammeh knows Jammeh ajeleko Barrow weak talesai. But then Jammeh opportunity je. Barrow is weak. This is an opportunity for me. And then because Barrow lost legitimacy, let's be agree, in many areas, he lost legitimacy. Jammeh sees that as an opportunity. Jammeh sees that corruption scandal is just like all over the place. This is an opportunity for him. he sees the security sector, again, both Aziz and Suleiman, it's just stale. It's there. Nothing is happening. That's an opportunity for him because nothing has changed. My people are still there, so nothing has changed. Barrow also, Jammeh also sees cabinet is divided because he has his people there who goes all the time, come all confused. That's an opportunity for Jammeh. But Jammeh also sees the population. Gambians are frustrated. They are tired. They just want to get rid of Barrow. That's an opportunity for Jammeh. The economy is worse. That's an opportunity.
It's sad to say why I think
weak government attracts threats. And Jammeh is a threat. We have a weak government, it attracts him. So Jammeh sees this opportunity. And also don't forget another thing that with really TRRC, nothing happened. And but Jammeh also knows that it's getting closer. He's getting closer to prosecution outside of Gambia because he sees Negisnane in US, in Germany, so they're getting closer to him. If Barrow didn't do anything, international is getting through to him. Now, for years, he was just surviving, depending on silence, and didn't say anything. Now, they report everything and all these things. He said, let me try to get home. Because these people are catching me. If I go home, they might not, I wouldn't be treated as bad as it would be. Jammeh hates being embarrassed. Jammeh want to show everybody that he is strong, that they get fit, I'm not fit, and being taken there, of course, you will lose that. It's better to find your way home. So these are some of the, and then of course, again, back to the political base. The base is just shrinking. AFPRC is split, we've seen it. MPP, AFPRC alliance, a weak teleside because sometimes if Bakari Tombo Jabe meeting on Jana, abe kudo fola, because they are going to stand alone. Next minute they are with MPP. So this division also is also an opportunity for him.
I think to be quite frank, Duma Munawane Jammeh is a de facto president. Why the same security system been for by more for nega. So ñu ngi wax ne security sector reform bi lan la ñoo def mooy ñu jël para yóbbu leen tooki o yóbbu leen fale ñu train leen o ñu indil leen ay moto jox leen uniform US. Why the same people ñoo xam ne ñoo nekkoon heads time Jammeh, those are the same people ñu fa nekka. In the National Assembly, you have people who are there for him. Fabakary Tombong Jatta is the Speaker of the House. Sidi Njie is the Deputy Speaker. Those are the two most powerful people in the National Assembly. And those are former Jammeh, enablers. So and even now, I think they are Jammeh enablers. Because Fonyi MP, Sidi Njie, you people who are supporting Jammeh, are still here, and you are one of the strong holders of the Barrow government. So land more is changed, land more sunset. So nothing has changed. And I don't think, to be honest, with all due respect, I know, yes, you got the Barrow is doing something, is doing well for in preparation for this. Why I want to disagree, honorably. The Barrow, Kuto Dalem, understand? So limde wa ag limde def dafa melni guddé becc.
And Suleiman, even as is Suleiman di ñëwé nonu moy né mixed message bi government give. Government amul any clear message because the message is so weak. No strong communication team bu ñëw na né ni la.
No Barrow government if I'm honest, the only person who is holding that government is Dr. Cisse. Dr. Cisse is the only person that holding that government together. So, because no more they gain they defend they explain things. Why the rest of them lan la nekk di wax? They create Facebook profiles, di saga nit ñi di leen wax naka la sudul noonu. That's all they do.
So man understand na fi ngeen di waxe. Why I think the security threat aspect of it bobu nañ ko génné because mënuñoo triage be
let me tell you this. I didn't want to mention this. Why okay. I was speaking to someone very senior government.
Yeah.
Manema, they are ready. Jammeh su agere, they would arrest him at the airport.
Seriously?
So, Maneko, are you prepared ne? Hamga demonstrations and everything dinalifin. Munema, yes, we are prepared. Why? Oh. Maneko, I don't think there will be any military takeover because Jammeh amatut any support in the army. Munema no, but don't rule that out. Maneko really, munema yes, don't rule it out. So mange halad ne, if Koku at that level rule it out ne, there is a possibility of military takeover. Hamga man hamna. Policy, when it comes to demonstration, they are never good at managing it. When it comes to protest, among that history of managing, public protest professionally. Te sunyewe nga am these victims wara gena, nga am these Jammeh loyalists wara gena, nyonyu wara crash or nyu wara daje mile 2. You think the police will be able to handle it?
No, it's not. Demonstrations are anywhere closer to those facilities. I can tell you for free.
Okay. Anyway, that's all.
Well, because I want you to be.
All of so jahane di seben bala kenen di toy ya njeka toy.
In as much as we do not trust this government and probably the security apparatus, there are minimum basics they are capable of doing that. Demonstration from the day Jammeh land, the closest demonstration will be Westfield. From the day Jammeh land, the closest demonstration to where Jammeh is kept will be Westfield.
Well, let's hope that is the case.
Yes.
Let's hope and pray that is the case.
I don't even believe in the prison, sir.
Yes, I really you analyze critically.
Aziz, I beg to differ. Aziz, you see, like Suleiman rightly said, I was talking to a senior official of the borough administration. Nimmo bekachala mea lonko wo nsafo doronka asutiata back. Do you know Ko Jammeh has spoken to two of the ministers just 2 days ago? That is Thursday, the earliest Thursday. Called their number, and they came and told close friends that Ntemalon Jammeh na number soto mintole and commandi. And those people were very, very close in his first government. In his first government. The only person I meant command mala telephone ta is Alaji Sise. And what Jammeh is trying to do, only Jammeh knows. Because Jammeh rules with fear. Nyanta men understand la wala munyintiko. Jammeh is weighing so many options because option Jamale Babulu. Jammeh alone nako very well ko. There are some members within the military. Momo mu generality in the army today. Jammeh Lea appoint as general apart from Mama Cham, the seniors. No, let me land. Matundro. You go into the immigrations. Immigration from commissioner, from ASP, Kasele Santo, Momo Bije Mbubu or anybody, Jammeh promote. And when Jammeh may work out can right now. In fact, that person layer Fonyeko is very likely ibe fenke bondila jel Usman Jobate bondila portsle ibe fenkele sambala jiba. Nkai ko jiba Jammeh la fenka akonye ko yes. Akonye because yalong akonye ko kuja mala bija akonye faction fulale be nyin cabinet faction fula wala be barola cabinet akonye faction dol beje well they are still loyal to Jammeh and Baro doesn't know and ako Baro mu moleti me alon ko even Ahmad Ba ya faene ka want to be very very careful menu ka recommendation o kai for cabinet positions you need to look at it again
yalo Bamba Mas
yes
nalie ofo nteta asosola bari I look at security. I don't fana namira silang meta jele. But let me just give you an example. Jammeh kadiam. Jammeh lente promote. Onte promotion also to Jammeh la timely. So if I am serving, I will also be considered a Jammeh loyalist because I was. Bari wolu fangu menuli kefo. Ye bata mentaki Jammeh la time. Including the uncertainty of tenure. No one want to go back to that. No one want to exchange your current freedom with that uncertainty.
Can I ask you, Aziz?
Yes.
Jammeh not a sign.
Yes.
For instance, I learned trombone tamba call. I just want to give only him as an example.
Okay, give me an example.
I Lantombong Tamba call Kombe Kanilaile. Can you come left and near Kaja? Do you think he wouldn't go?
No, he will. So assuming he goes, and then?
No,
No, I am saying Asita Nole Asita.
No, no, Atita
Okay,
Warabitale. I just want that.
Just to get to where you want us to get, Abitale.
Abitale.
And so,
okay. Where may it and tell because Lantombon now has another master different from Barrow, different from Jammeh. Yes. Lantombon is being employed by Barrow Lamansakunda. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where loyalty laitandi, where loyalty crisis laitandi. Because obviously a rival of the government that you serve, ni tata o Maria, comment like ndebe embassy do kola wato men. I just want to give you an example. Ya fonyele konkana ta usenu dabo ya nana ta jang. But I still go. Because loyalty in my heart belongs to Usenu.
Yalo Bamba.
Live program.
I want us to be very realistic because Memu, today, if you ask me to advise the government honestly, I have to be very honest. But it should not be just sentimental, it should be evidence-based. It should be evidence-based so that security can be calculated mathematically to get to the results. So here the calculation is assuming all of those people go and talk to Jammeh. After talking to Jammeh, what are they going to do? What influence, what source of authority do they have to bring about a change? This is the question. At the moment, Jele answer follow.
Yes. For instance,
let me learn. I am not a fan of Jammeh. If I'm in Gambia and Jammeh call me, I'm going to go talk to him. But you know what? I'm going to tell him that, sir, your time is gone. Just because I talk to him doesn't mean that I'm loyal to him. I am not a fan of this government. If they call me to ask me about security, I will give them honest assessment without sentiment.
As is one factor also, I think, going back to the same issue is that Jammeh also knows that this is his only chance to remain relevant in Gambian politics. Because 2026, he's not sure, because new government coming into play, he will be prosecuted. That's no compromise for him. So Jammeh Alonko, last chance, and I have to do everything to make sure that I still stay relevant and get myself up and running. This is where, and then also, this is also the last chance to negotiate. So these are all these things. But as is, one thing also back to the loyalty, how people are loyal to Jammeh. Why would they be employed to Barrow? But new loyal to Jammeh. The thing is that they still the fear and psychological loyalty from this dictatorship, because Jammeh is a psychological thing. I mean, if we can sit down today, you got green boys, they want to revive Saint Boba. Those green boys, turn to junglers, a lot of them. So if they start in Kanilai, and it was live, they are just changing themselves again. That is how much fear and psychological loyalty Jammeh has instilled in these people. So that led them to beyond just the money you have. Then you have a lot of them are scared to be prosecuted because change of government so man dinañ prosecute because legi fu nek ma ngi am febo agum. So they are scared of that as well. And then the other part li nga wara realize moy ne Barrow also is very weak in terms of punishing disloyalty and all these things. These are some of these things that these people look at. Now the identity, bungo underestimate the regional identity in Fonyi, that is Fonyi, still plays also, but I mean, it's a very strong factor, these people sitting there. Then you also have the whole alliances as well, empower these loyalists as well. So, this system vitamin musu core reform after 22 years of dictatorship. It's there. It's just lying there. The family halbu natal so they metal mata. Bem fay. Xam nga su fayé dang day gis ne li fi ñëw fa doomi taali dañ fa nekk si ron mu bax do dé xam dang day dugal sa loxo nga gis ne lakana ñun situation bobu lañ nekk in this country since 2026 situation bobu lañ nekk dañ tok rek Feigning affairs, why Halbang get Takasilon. It just needs Jammeh to just trigger it if the government is not standing firm. Man, that's how I see it. And the loyalist is psychological. Imagine
Alonde, Aziz wants to downplay the loyalty issue here. Aziz, you can't compare yourself to so many people.
The loyalty is strong.
Aziz, when you were the police spokesperson, a lot of people don't know you, but many people see your integrity. Many people see your foresight. And many people believe that this man definitely is a man of his words by your actions. Aziz, your actions spoke for you, even those days when you were in the police. Did you think that you just gain a promotion just out of the blue? No, it's because your dedication. You are the type of people Jammeh wants, but he couldn't get you the way he wanted you. And that was why you saw it fit to get out of that country and further your career somewhere else. So the Gambia, we all know the Gambia as is mbewuluta Gambia le. Ngalone ko banko doko le kata bandi. O banko mo jamabi je wolu they have no heart. Imang any direction soto. Wolu katara wolu laftale drong I to chew and keep hanin Jamaica pokale every day. They would still dance to him. They would scroll for him. They would do everything for him because itoli ajeleko that bought us their bread. Unjaka mwele baro la mansa kunda fon kone fon luka fo ikafoko baro ni Jammeh fatata menna wotay mo Jammeh aka jeki le dorong ay mbusu faare mo dinna baro mu sarakulo ta bulo jatale inside his cabinet mol be je men yalo ko kabaro accuse wala and yet ay cabinet minister tile it yalo ne ko Gambia mbe ngalo ne ko Gambia katama nyame Gambia modol be je wol they don't have a heart.
Also, Fenko, psychological loyalty, as is, we cannot downplay that. Because Jammeh ruling for 22 years has been based on fear and survival. And then psychologically, and they put you there. So I think that also is still lingering. People scared Jammeh. Jammeh coming, some of them will say, "Ndadina you punish in your way."
In the first place, Mendelwa tuti rekile ni Senegalese wa nani rekile tuti.
Yes, let's do that.
Nda Jammeh dina ñew.
That's a question.
That is the question.
That's a question, and I'm not
always meant to bring back.
Okay.
Legi su Jammeh ñewate. What is he coming to? Lan la muna def? Kan la ko muna defal? Fan la ko muna defé? Naka la ko muna defé? These are the calculations that any expert will think about. Dafa in security terms, dafa being a security expert is called Giovanni Manunta. Lim wax moy a security context exists where there is an asset, a protector, and a threat interacting at the same time. Listen to this. Jammeh is probably the threat. The state is the asset. When I say state, including Barrow, or the state is the asset, and the protector is Barrow government. Jammeh Newham Rek does not result into a security context unless if he tries to now interact in an antagonistic way. Litama indili moy roba nañ ay bukki yu bari just because bukki lañ mu ngi romba rek bukki ñu door ko rey ko. Why bukki alone is not bukki unless bu yéemee tie say nak. How many gis ngeen li may wax? Just because Jammeh
Aziz, I have to cut you there. Aziz, sorry, I have to cut you there. Jammeh has already done that. Jammeh has already threatened that. Jammeh, even his speech, even the way he was talking, is in fact a direct threat to the executive.
Wow,
no, let me come. Jammeh called the president of the Gambia donkey. Emut Fofu. Munes ninnata ngaju benteni te jumale tamu Gambiati. That is a direct threat to the executive. Amanda Water Fananto, Ilamay Dronde, Amanda Water Fananto. He told them, Nali Amira fon silata le pour kang arrest, or Ali Amira fon silata sayalale. Aling arrest alia jube. Ninnata, because what Jammeh is playing at now, come here question I like that question. For dinanyo. I like that question. But that question nobody can answer. Until we would only speculate. Only Jammeh can answer that question. That dinanyo. Only Jammeh knows that. Jammeh Sibula no play no lale, he comes to the Gambia. He can do that. Jammeh si Mansakunda damn nole, Kabula play no la nana to let them arrest him. He would damn it. As he already stand nole. If that would even be better.
Bamba, government have a lot of options. Government have a lot of options, including even not allowing the plane to land. For government, no options. Government have a lot of options in his hands.
But
excuse me, no flight will land in this country, in the Gambia or in any country without giving clearance. And every flight coming into any country, the country will have the itinerary and the manifesto of the cargo coming in. Government have a lot of leverage, even to say to Jammeh, you will not land. The flight will go elsewhere. So
can I give you an example of Umpa Mendy and Co when they came to the Gambia? Umpa and Co came to the Gambia and government had the itinerary. Government had everything. But Barrow himself did say Co there was a security lapse. Wala antina wolnata for idunta Gambia without the state knowing about it. They were only arrested when they were identified at the airport. Okay, let me give you this devil's advocate scenario. Can't Jammeh come with a different passport with a fake name? Can't he? Jammeh can do that. Because all these things we have to look at. We have to look at every avenue. That we must exhaust all avenues, what are possible and what are not possible. Remember, Jammeh lives in a foreign country, and he's been shielded from international prosecution by that country, Equatorial Guinea. Let's take an example of Equatorial Guinea. And maybe still, Jammeh, having been president for how many years, must still have friends among other presidents of other nations. That also is a possibility. Because he has ruled a country for over 20 years. And he has formed alliance with other heads of states. They could also help. Nobody knows. Look at Sudan, for instance. Sudan's war, the government of Sudan and the rebel movement, the RSF, or whatever their names are, they are each being backed by different factions, all gearing towards what they gained from that war, despite people are dying constantly. Let's take an example of Dubai. Dubai people go there to buy gold. But how many people are asking where does that gold comes from? That gold comes from the blood of innocent Sudanese that are dying like flies. And UAE gives a heck about it. They don't even care. They're not even looking at Islam. They're just looking at the financial gain they are getting. They are using that money to buy more weapons for rebels and the RUF and the Janjaweeds to keep killing people. So we live in a world that is very, very, very diabolical. Today, Barrow's government may have enemies. Like, for instance, the statement made by the information minister, Ismail Cisse, towards the government of Senegal. Senegal surrounds the Gambia almost all except the Atlantic Ocean. I know Senegal may not do that. But let's take an example of if Senegal, for instance, gives Jammeh amnesty or Senegal gives Jammeh sanctuary, what would Gambia do? Nothing. Because Senegal is a sovereign nation. Senegal is a sovereign country. And Ousmane Sonko used to be accused of being sponsored by Jammeh. We remember those days when Macky Sall's government was accusing Ousmane Sonko of being sponsored by Jammeh. When the Senegalese, the Casamance rebels were being accused of being aligned with Jammeh, even despite he was trying. I don't support Jammeh, but he was trying to forge a peace in the Casamance region. But yet still people keep accusing him. Jammeh used to arrest rebels, Casamance rebels in Gambia, lock them up at Mile 2 central prisons. We have seen that. Though we don't support Jammeh, but at least the goods that he did, I must mention that. But now, all this problem, if you want to compound it all, is caused by Barrow. We must all agree that. Barrow is Gambia's problem. Barrow has put us in this mess that we are in today. Because Barrow could have resolved this matter a long time. But he didn't want to because of political expediency, because of political relaxation, because he felt that the moment he touched Jammeh and his co, the moment he touched the TRRC white paper, then he would lose the support of the AFPRC Fabakari faction or vast majority of them. This is why Jammeh Barrow even allowed Solbaji and Co to come back in the first place.
Okay, thank you. I think it's about time na nyinku be jibe be problem nying abe jara la nyeme nga fole mimbe kela minyanta kela mine be caring what are the possible fenkol mine binala outcome be kela mine de mila be bolaje ani mine to bolaje ngol be fo kacha kono le bari kukiling jang woku mata ndenya ko to bake because you know mimbe nke foteng imu molle de miyalo ye place balle mara andi place ol min mara wo kole aku bije dia ku bije na filtata akaji banku dingol le kan anu ayen sula bake fofem bakela banku dingol le toroti because tora keta Gambia abuka fonde koma abuka fonde koma abuka fo Aziz anim Bamba abuka fonto beke koma directly from no indirectly because we got families there. So nin kumbo nyama puru nga mol nyamendi mol minni ya lonko abakela wolle toroti politically adin tankun la fannal because nga fannal fo jenne mi ya lonko dolia foko maybe ni ya jamme nade mandala kukela because ni gebe kukela ba fala nyimbe be fondi la carte kesol la nyim fannala nyimbatin na nyeke bar womo mo kilingola kun kilin nafale banku dinjel la nyanda batala wo kono lafta pour nga ko jibe ni wo fannala pour alien tol be nyamendi pour nga long mune batarala at stake ya jamela na wala mbe sobela menala wala fo banko president currently membe president yal ay mol nyaasu to la famba ay nyinko nyaasu to la famba fo banko president membe president yala muna kumata ate ya nyinko kono katum fanna killing moliaje adiamuta wala apparatus symbol ni ñun bembul la ba saying banku dingol ba bata min ko la min sutolaje malum fo wo parendiro ba kere wola ani wo sifal so say la tamina ja ñun ko min be mba fo kam politically bamba malum fo fel lonje politically ndey fo fel lonje as is politically or security wise ye fel lonje mi alon ko ise banku dingol nyamendi wala se nyamendi no wo fannal so say sa kuma security as is ni natetea nyamendi ba ni nata nyim fannalan kamin for security ite be mol nyamende la no minato pro se hakil tank mo soto asis ya jamalana
okay ntefe ya jamelana nintarabe kole akuole sambalana o kole akuobe kala nyineti ko ni mansa kunda man ilo nyata kayaya muta ka sindi dula killing and katabake ka akitindi modu me ya lonko yaya ye mantore de wulla ladi law kam fada itatilin na yaya jammere batilin na ni mansa kundal wala mantora ko bari yaya fang kundingo man kole akuja be men sambala nan banko kan katu kome ngambe mfonna dia moto follow ya nala sembole boy bondi jang birabe sembo to wotole ya bay jang kidi man fay doko man kati oto sila ya tita fas o sembo be ba darajo be ban ayna kole akuo samanani bari kole akuo membe ye wala mu banku dingol me ya lonko ay mantora wulkana je ayna sey ay tasi kanila fawe kumanke o damma se banko boyndi oto lefta man sakunda si hakilo to woto baki Yaya la supporters mem be wulla ka manifest wo be kelale bari wo sembo te warla ko ni mo kote wol men Yaya ye mantora abe wo kono ni mansa kundani aje modu jusubote ila kuo kama wole mu iman kuleke wo kuo kono TRRC la ripoto be la rinjang kuman keje sa foko tumodo jamme jam fatan na lente kuno la be meyanta force nola bar sila nin jamme fana fango volontiata kana sila mbebe men nyinin kanga nate man ku keje wo protest ni mansa kunda se wikin no ntefe nyanta jele jibela ko yaya e mol soto ami kono ibe jele mol be je me anon ko bi hanin bi yaya man taraf sembo to dinga e kumandi ni futata may be holtlale ya salut bari bimbe tembo mento anim bankola tanko be nyamen mo kilin teje mense sembo ta ka kuke wala kanyim masakunda boy tambita otolale silang katu sembo mantara mo kilim bulu security forces kono wala even mansakunda kono mense wo keno abeo kono fana natana ECOWAS security soto meya lonko ila sababu Gambia jang Yahya Jammeh tajarinte ale wolu sijang hanin bi wolu mambo jang adun ye ke place le to meya lonko they are strategic hanin misali fe bi na mira komen kanilai for instance kanilai kol wultale boita o military post je yolu ta ite tambino la wotola so lafta Gambian ko limani la minna wala munyinti ko ni yaya nata kairo be tenkunna be sabatila bari o be keno la nyadi nim barona la mansakunda e action ta adugo action nyanta kala munet katabaki this is no longer let's wait to due process hani na nata mutali asamba every human right men aya soto ala suspend right to bail, right to hearing, right to no ala suspend maximum jail period. Let government come out with very clear statements.
Good. Aziz, Yanim Besauna, Yamira, Abinala by Yamira, question for Yamira 4, Yamme Binaleba, and the Yamira 4, it come in for thing, President Adama Barrow Walker, Yamir.
Nimfulol bede nte alkurano la atakile la kuona. Beri ibemu moleti mea lonko they are not consistent. Yaya fania fo buka amalo. Janabe fania fo la fan ay kalo laje. Kalisabo. Neo laje la ka fania. So I will not be surprised ajeko amanna. Sakako November. Yo being tolfele November 21. Woto ninga manna next mbelalale. Aduna ke fana kutela la kam bayri mobe alo wolale. Adama Barrow fana asa kenole as a political calculation because memu Adama sometimes menul aman smart adu menul ka advice fana iman smart. Ase keya advice ko atuja ena because phone sotola. But nte fana fangola ta ko political and Bamba and others can help me there. Phone is now splitted. We've seen an MP who kind of boycott, maybe 2 MPs fan. Me alonko ibe jamme tuje. Adima tuje just because it will kunkili nale ni barodiam. But in a constituents, fanaya fueleko it's time we move on. Because we are following someone mamenge. So we don't know what to follow.
Akumada Bage as his analysis in conclusion, Benera. Okay, so Karim, politically, I think Ninko politically saying, Yamira, nyamendiro ni sobindiro nyanda kala minati kula mimbe dending former president Yahya Jammeh akafoko ate binale wala alana azizi ya fole ay min lonje so politically mala ite min mira je ya mira nying fo kuso do rinno nin kuso do rinno na bakela president o mimbe sirin bitro min kita president Adama Barrow ya mira fo aba banku dingol nya fitala le bang nya jor fitala le because bamba ku jamala be nyin ko kono mi alon ko TRRC ku jamale fota je mo jamale la mol niyo be toraring ila niyo be kyaring andu modol bije ibe tamakan silokan wol dole mo falleke dole kulleke mi alon ka jawata bake be sirin kumambo je andu modol bije ibe sirin bamba ko diminna warde be kamfari be sirin minka mo malon andu wo banko ni momi e woke aya nyatilin wo banko la kabina mini be sirin TRRC la resolution o mem fota je kumambo je kumanke je iko niake ila politiko e bole tiñanna aning woto mol katare kunkilin nafalla jibe kanyin kokono par say lafta mako e mindo jam politically isa banku dingol nyamendi no milala ni nata kula mimbe denden ka foko ya jame binale anim banko la tenkun pamba
ya abaraka bake Mustafa yalong Yahya Jammeh la ko loi diamolem foye loi jube bunda jumal le bije Yahya sikitindi no dame yalon na diamo kono nga foye ko Yahya e député lolu soto député moto and wolka briefly on every parliament la sitting birin Dawda Jallow e bilo nyin samba député moto pour député olié section 69 subsection 3b ya repeal or ya falling because near section 69 jube subsection 3b we made and according to that part of the constitution a criminal court can only be processed against a former president for actions taken while in office if the National Assembly passes a motion with a 2/3 majority. That is what is in section 69. Mojama kafuko ha Yankuba Ture immunity babule yasamba kitiole yasorang. Yankuba is only covered by section 13. But Yahya Jammeh put in laws kafale noko aye deputy moto atela marlo kono aye bankola constitutional fale ne sinyata lulu andu falindiro be wo Yahya Jammeh ya kele pour kate Yahya Jammeh kunkilingole makoy. Okay, ninata ngawo constitutional jube mbajela ko AFPRC mansa kunda birinata. The Bill of Rights ya abolisle of the 1970 Constitution. Anunia jube section 13 of Schedule 2 womu transitional and consequential provisions like granted to immune to members of the AFPRC. Yankuba relied on that one. Yankuba Ture bambuta wole koma. Near section 13 jube subsection 1 of Schedule 2 na constitutional where APRC members of the council I will lufasa. But section 69 subsection 3b where Yahya Jammeh kunkilim da male makoy ali Supreme Court la ruling jube bang ali bula Supreme Court la case noma Jammeh versus the Attorney General 2002 wo case nying that was instituted by the Supreme Court when the court held that paragraph 13 of Schedule 2 to the Constitution provides for immunity from legal prosecution of members of the Armed Forces Provisional Council and their appointees for acts or omissions in the performance of their duty. Womu Supreme Court la decision already. But with Yankuba Ture's case, Supreme Court la decision if only overruled. Malo Mustafa Falka mwe hakilo lalba. Supreme Court ya decision me yata in 2002 because Yankuba relied on Wolekang. Jammeh versus the Attorney General in 2002. But the Supreme Court your decision in favor of Jammeh because what my Jammeh be marlola. So bring Yankuba to retata the Supreme Court, your decision on overturned. Allow decision ya overturned to prosecute Yankuba Ture. But Jammeh may not even rely on Jammeh asikeno ate rely na okang ate si bambuno section 69 komale because section 69 e memfo wole mu ita ate Kitinola as former president, when deputy section on repeal, two-thirds of deputy your section on repeal. So Birata deputy Moto, what the APRC Noto Alliance MPs did is to inform Jammeh. Before we building aita second reading yaje nyine nyimbe trigger ni jamme kanyi wuro men beke minale moto kuno la je alseng arrest adunta janale because janni wo bilo nyimbe fasla APRC NPP Mansakunda inila alliance sol yalon ne ko they cannot get the two-third majority except near UDP la back in Soto and the AFPRC otumale be two-third majority Soto so that has to be negotiated and no nganyati len carte fayola abe koleala pour ko negotiate because NPP near Jamela Dibite also they will get the two-third without the UDP it maybe it's a sort of no but it a UDP sort of no la because UDP ning APRC buke jadim NPP buke jadim bakile UDP bill samanang dipite moto NPP kila majority useless to throw it out without even a second because bring a diaspora voting in nati ko diaspora nyanta karto file UDP le anati dipite moto almost every member of the NPP and their alliance voted it out ibele mtu hani moment to koma abele a vote out because for the simple fact that UDP lanati it only amirabe UDP da male na fala for diaspora voting and NPP also has NPP diaspora politically ntenga jeleko barona la Mansakunda they are in a political dilemma with this situation because membe bulu sign katabula manager kalemu ite jang imalo ibe menkela anu sign be tembo mento jamme purungan na local law so use ka sambakiti ola abe koleala because jamme la constitutional wala ka banko tamande hani bi andun kawo constitutional use ka jamme prosecute abe kala ko comme moment ko be selen dawtala yesele santo malo iba ke no la nyadile bari wo abe koleala bakel so andun yalone also ko Jammeh hana yatara among majority support soto but Jammeh still has support in the Gambia adoyata njamunyang hana bekela 50,000 people to omumo jamalati and fonyi la population osi wasinole hana manke fonyi damati there are other parts of the Gambia many alonko they are still APRC supporters mbele nga wolong andum barona la Mansakunda kamune calculate ninkombe Jammeh mala politically how would it affect us because barona la Mansakunda mantara hanyering in 2026 election ola imantara hanyering and Jammeh fanan ka game men play wala munyenti ko nimma manta teng ngamo ile lamin tamba ba fokan ala diamoto with BTLO program ako what about the possibilities of APRC Noto Alliance having an alliance with the UDP ako mo kana bay ako maybe ni woketa wala fanam fo be healing process nying tariandi la Gambia because majority of the victims are UDP which is true but it only UDP be alliance keno la nyadi la what are the discussions that would take place yalo fana that has to be discussed between the APRC Noto Alliance ni ajeko la man Jammeh man baro bulo tormondonno anu ni baro threaten wala dorong kon ni UDP be alliance kalale obviously hanni Mustafa hanni momen nyininka baro ba fele ko sa alafta munela because baro buka suto sinono ni UDP kumo fay so nyimbe mu feneti me alonko you have to look at the broader way politically ama fenne man baro favor ni NPP Noto Alliance threaten ko ndolbita kafla UDP ma no matter what ye Jammeh convince noala because yalon ko ni Noto Alliance kafla UDP madron that's done for Barrow that is a done deal politically for Barrow because what storm tula because hala manke vote APRC mamanta dauda because hadi la nyim bati yai ikanyim bukarabol manipulate it entice people molka la falal molka music politics goes with fanfare aka dinolo attract ya understand politics mu psychological game leti hada ya tara moment siebulu but ni kam mamman kuma di molka funtile so it's a psychological game sometimes it can play the way you can as a seasoned politician tenga lonne politiko kamenkeno I remembered Musa Suso, Birabelo la Dipite Yala Sukuta. Musa does not have more support than Mr. Cham, for Senator Cham Lembang. Otaimo, but bring Yahya Jammeh meeting open J. Can you imagine? Ngambusol moile kumatako entesa wundal tebita Musa. Because of the fanfare. Ninsolbe kanate la kordal kono subobe fatapatana. Yaje baroyo playbook oleta kakalero sika kadi mol la tarin bolo kono tarin ka fonkolke because I alone neko what that playbook Jammeh come and play it might favor me So Mustafa nying ajabo be kole abala because legal minds and political minds have to sit down. Wole nyanta sila kanyin kunyin gay kajube because Jamela na is a security threat. Nteman song alisis la kumaka la kavoko at a threat dino. It is a big security threat because Gambians feed on radio kankang. Gambian on tola awareness mamfuta wo tembo to that level. Hani bi mol be sila rin Jamela. And niaje mol bla silo mambo Jamela is because of Barrow. Hani bi mol be se because nka Barrow jela ka membe appoint abe mu Jamela ex fonkolet. Hana yatara wol they are not loyal to Jammeh, but it only Jammeh enable. So the fear is still there. Ko Jammeh molle be Barola mansakunda kono. Barola mansakunda katama Jammeh molla kola because hani nying media fonko nying. Ngamere bota nene magdol genyol kela chairperson oldi. Barola mansakunda ko. And ngajele ko Gambia Ports Authority, they are talking about taking Mr. Jiba back. Wol be ngol be jele ko. Mafuko Mr. Jiba is APRC, but Mr. Jiba has worked for APRC. He has been an enabler. Fabakar Tombojara has been an enabler. Sibinjai has been an enabler. And Moluki reminder ko kujamal kita banko kan all these sections so kamenu be read. Fabakar Tombojara nyole adun deputy boto. Niaje ko Barola 2024 draft man pasno. APRC not alliance deputy mass support. UDP deputy mass support because ntoloko na 2020 draft. But niajube also 2020 draft APRC not alliance MP or more finance support ilata Barola kan. So it will be lorin temale. They don't follow NPP government. They don't follow UDP. It will yajele ko ninga 2020 draft nyin dundi. Amantol favor because Jammeh constitutional will entol favor until after Jammeh constitutional tenteng and it all kacha in isolation in Jammeh can discuss. So imagine ko nimi na deputy boto it all they go based on APRC Jammeh faction la belief sol in wala kana deputy boto ajube dorong nga example me tandila during 2020 draft nata ay sunkar baji nyol taraje kata fenke nyol ibele a vote against it. And during 2024 draft fanan nata, I almame jibanyol taraje. Ibele have vote against it. So it will be lorim mintole. It will let jeroto wale munyintiko ali ngamba mfyango bela Barola Jammeh constitutional kartadro because ning UDP mansong at wokla. But ni UDP ni nyunu kafuta nga 2020 draft constitutional nyintundi. That would definitely be a very excellent constitution. Jammeh to rely nola on anything. He can be criminally prosecuted. But section 69 to repeal nola, damante deputy olu 2/3 ma vote ka repeal. And NPP man sakunda ma wo soto. Ima 2/3 majority soto. They need us or they need Jammeh. Nyim fulolam. Either bita Jammeh ale na negotiate to repeal Jammeh la faction or na negotiate for 5 MPs or 3 MPs in negotiate because fulal assist kamemfo mo fulalemu ko wolu they might support it. Wole mu foni berfet la député oti fenke koli Jammeh musundi mo mem fenke no ko atata ka fu baroma ani men kabelo la president yala wol fulol lem Jammeh kay menu bay bari Jammeh nata fole ko nga menu bay they can come back and the woman kafu NPP ma wo is still there as an independent. So moma lom fabe murla back to Jammeh or fabe tarla baroyal. But hana tata baroya, Baro still need these 3 orders. Priye kafama ka bilo nyimpas ka section 69 subsection 3B ka repeal. Ning ima wol soto. The only option they have is to come to pipeline in impause ni akacha puru UDP kafum, which ngalonko NPP taw. So these are the scenarios, Mustafa. Malum, for you have any other question? Aning Sister Ndeye.
Ha akumara janim binande ya. Bari ima funya ko be gunjurungol ning jarangol nyamen dila nyame ima funya. Puru isaje mo kana ikang nene kula mimbe dending kafuko political nyim dom manke because niamo politician binale kang akafoye ko nyindom manke politique diamot. Oto politique diamo wolon kunte adiamo. So wol be mu kullete mi halonko mol nyande ke hakil maya nyin kul kono.
No Mustafa nga je jabile yalo komen na mandinga du ni ba fola mbajo manuele komen pa modu ka fanyame mbajo manuel menu be siren kunjura nin jarbaru kunda nyol ning atodun kudang ibe wara ibe faroto ibe mano ibe dembeton tabikan dembeton tukan ni ba explain la wole mu nyinde ko Yaya Jammeh la na mu masi boleti pour Gambia dingoli right now because alanna abe wuro nim fitino le dundi la banko kan hanna ya tara man sakunda amawo jija molu dammal fongol dammal be dunna nyola because mol be kam farenne ko
Yamira
dimbali alle kela
Yamira man sakunda we kese bola jabato la bang
hani man sakunda te kese bola jabato fo jannin 2026 election hani
I would say what better la sirinje ke kungol drone mira ni janning election o kana bam
bari be oda male fana mira kanko man sakunda be ngoda male mira kan ni man sakunda lafta ku kela woto ba kela la kabiring because TRRC keta wati jumale Mustafa ni ajube yewo calculate anim bite masanji jelu man sakunda be sirin white paper ka ye bam far iman sonna ku kela je molu men yalon ko they are victims of Yahya Jammeh's 22 years of dictatorship. Well, they are still going to hospital and man sakunda is not giving them any reparation. Ibang ko di la kafa ali jaranya na they are curing themselves. Wol be siri nenin kamfa be siri. Mustafa nana nga foyen na diamo ko non ko ndata kombo wulen kama. Ndata na friend visit game ndey. Ke bare ngona tan konto me alon ko ngalon bundum wotu man na dindiya. Ngaje na ke ba foy sawunda na njana ko nya ha. Akonye bari kadimu rasulum ke la diamo mo yakadiye nye baki laftale ta foni ifana inim fana na dimbal si nyojeno. Ndey wulta o korda ko na friend na korda ko ndata pabi nyim visit. Na belori nga konye ye o korda men hayna njana kai ha. Akonye karle la kordam. Nka to mo la akonye yalo ne kabe enayel nkai ha. Akonye nyulle ente samba yempuka. Nkai oh my god. Akonye ko yes, akonye ko nyulle ente puka. Akonye ni aje ngana korda wafi bundun saunda na njang. Lolu nin saltan ka duwale fitino e wule nyim bankuka. Kaje nake ba munake. Akonye ni fitino wulda ni tata dokola janna na mba dingol bele kanate.
Subhanallah.
Can you imagine that psychology? Woka me miracle ko ba Mustafa. Ndema suto sino wolu. Nga miracle akonye ko bambantela muso na manyo. Akonye wato dobe ninga funtita ning kombanyi ninkala kafunyele ko iman keketi. Ni man la fi mole bo sutro men belare kay bo kan ida bi ntela suto yayo wonte la hajiti katum nyanta men suto futo to mbuka soto ako nyembe sirin jangan sendim ma be sirin na bunkol abe diam la nyafanya joka buru. Can you imagine the pain those people are going through? Baroye will be filije ayanya kasi will bela wala na moka fa la ko biso Gambia because mo do ka fa diminale be wol they've lost everything. Wol diminale bele be siri la suolo kono iban kan fon soto la suolo kono ibe siri tutro men belare kan inu sutro le be deri ako nyembuka diam ako nyenkatar siri wala nyama ako nyeko mendiata na dimbaya le na surtu na musol ako nye kawlake ako nye katum malla fe sutro e bonka na bala bunkono Mustafa mbota ubunkono le billahi nsingo ngamira fonsingo fon kuliata mfonte le nkansingo damboy fonsingo ka banko ma fabu kama malo mbedame natilo bele tinyata andu niyo kewje santo asente muta Mustafa asente muta la wulende ayete muta ay wulende bulfulo asim mofulo be muta bulfulo la wulende ponkalo lem anala keba ya nyawnya akonye ko dindi merem just man kuke ko Yahya Jammeh kam fatan kam madron yen samba NIA ka kay singo tortoro nakko kan fo ya bete.
Right, Karim, inimbara baraka butum bemim fola akamunde it looks like maybe Yahya Jammeh from what Jibero on the YouTube channel. Maybe Yahya Jammeh from what Jibero in the YouTube.
It's possible the kana kuba de ya ka formol bele la moy sainde.
Yes, because I've seen some executive here watching on the YouTube channel, maybe Yahya Jammeh Bulaja or Yahya Jammeh from Bijana. But nonetheless, notwithstanding, they aku do bije akala fisiala mo dati in ara nyin ko be jibe do bije ka overwhelm aku be la bari jama minka kumande nyako to wolom fewo fembe nanyol nim babanyol batande la minni ya lonko ila karango ni la fahamo mang jamfa baake when it comes to civic education banko tamandre nyato because nyi nyonene anyanta banna le sign because nyonene minkake surtout ning politician ol nata molkan e ka kufo e komi alonko ate kelano ate sutolano walla itolla kunkilin nafa e ko wodorne jibe kul kono ila interest damma not bankola interest for president olombang for minambang because kumalali ya fu jande president o ning atara num feo fe ngol be quartier dila atela ite ko ilafta kalela woleto ate sonna wola feo fe mbala mansa kunda tinyana bari nim fenno mi alon ko ba banku dingol torala wona nyando wanyar la lende fo
Yeah, Mustafa, ko Aziz Ning, Suleiman, and Bamba Fanang just now, yeah, Funya Mendorong, a Kodal, Mansakunda, Abem, Mansakunda, and Nimbalafa Wartale, because Nimolia Jube ko, Altoli carte fay mol meye. Alia foko nyine muy la carte ti, nga dila. Nga kodo dila ntol fam buka domoro soto no fang. Bari nga make so domoro be tebulu. Ndola dimbayal buka school fees jo soto nga make so itala dimbayal school fees jo soto ndola dimbayal ntol fangol man lopitan bor kodo soto nga make so nga di tela katun lafta menna wala mu ko ite fana ya do ko ken tol fontol fana katano lopitan ka borol jo dingole ta karambungol to dol fana ye do ko soto nga wole ke pour ka sona yandi te bulu pour ite yentol makoy wo mo wole sita kan tajarante ya kamol tajarante ya fonga futa bi situation o me ya lonko malom be mbulo marale tala malom fombe mbulu bale tala malom fombe singole dundila malom be damen wo mo me ya lonko ngana karto diala ngakodo diala ngako be sona ya ndama pour ay banko da dai sa jentol fanan nganta soto je so wala na ndeka fo wato wati next year 2026 election o membe kela baro ma nyanna winla baro nyanta bolale banko to mo ngata modo nyinin nga modo sindi isaje ni wo fanan sita nga wo fanan try ni wo fanan manta nga bondi bari 2026 baro anyanta talale diamuti je kotike because ngaji le bi nyaje ya jame bi abe malbal ya abe mol traumatized la victim soul aka wol psychological problem wol fango di wolla nyaje bi mbesila mbaje la green boy soul ba fulay be fan revive la because green boy soul jamal le tonte kete jongul alti because jongul soul bote to le kon ni sita bi fonka woje ika foko al nga wuli nga nyo nga WhatsApp group ol da nga jong green or revive abe baro because baro comme bamba ya fele asisi ya fanya quartier kesolem mune bente sindi la jante baro ni na dimbayal katu saya manke ko mune bente sindi la si mansa kunda doko keno nga banko doko hani mune bente baro sindi no la jang ni na dimbayal nga domoro soto mbay fang enjoy la momo diata nga doko diala même man deñente doko diala momo diata nga kodo dila naman deñente kodo dilela wole mu baro la interesting because bibi bambaka section 69 for woman ke problem ti na tara non député bi ngoto banku doko le CJ MPP banku doko le CJ UDP bi jele isi tano UDP afay ko look ndo lofta ñine revive la alin join nga bondi because MPP ning the section 69 MPP ning UDP sa bondi no isi tano le eta because mune be wo stop la because ni UDP la majority vote for it then be MPP le ñinin kan wala the other ones because ngalon ko doyñol obviously I will assume it iba they will join to do it so it's no to alliance nimbang kudingol tata le to a point parliament man la nga parliament soto meye jo soto meye luxury soto fata mbita nyim parliament la nene mamoy maybe I'm wrong nene mamoy parliamentarian soul ye luxury men soto nene mam parliamentarian soul je so nimbang kudingol meliatol sindi je isita anu is even it cut across hani no to alliance because gambe dingol lem nyilti I wuluta Gambiele, I sita Gambele, I kuluta Gambele, I be ya lonita da I sita la kabinetol kono, I sita la bunkono ya lonko ba ya jame mol tajerente yale. Ya wolonne. I kana mol malon na ko mol distop. So ni wol sita ko menjarate tulla is all about jamme hadama dingo me ya lonko gambe dingo le ma fananti ay gambe dingol tajarante ya ay gambe dingol torandi aso ko hani bi ni mo wala jarta beti gambe dingol be more than 3 million people should just suffer will be nyanta batalale wonyanta torale wonyanta falale altulla interest mo kilonga interest why wo mu dun cruelty why wo banku din cruelty and there is no unapologetically banku din cruelty wote and nobody should be excused for that and ndeka fo nyamin alama ye gambe dingol torandi nyamin alama ye gambe dingol put through menna alama ye tajarente ya melke gambe dingol alama ye fangole si ya jejani be fala honestly because that is the only thing I have man sakunda nak ndete mol diamundi la because mol batatale gambe dingol batatale imalo be ta daming imalo be duna daming imalo be fina nte nying be man sakunda le diamundi la man sakunda they have the will man sakunda karto abeto lebulu mansakunda keso beto lebulu keso membe gambe dingol fala abe mansakunda lebulu fo iba bulalale fo iba muta kulale ya jube iba kala nyame fo nyin keso te bulala gambe dingol kan atute to lebulu mansakunda nyanta fintilale ya fo molye ay senea wech ko Yahya Jammeh ay tajirente ya leke an TRRC ya safele ko Yahya Jammeh ay sunya role ke an janna commission ya fintindile an na dunta Gambia iba arrest lale
yalo ndey
problème be dam because am clear
ha problème be dam to jang malam fo ba kelal bam because ni ajibe recommendation ol baby jela mon min fa nyanda mutala wol be siringi be ko fi mi ngole la bonko ndey
ha bari wala nan ko ni man ndeka man sakundale jam because a baby to lebulu keso be to lebulu keso membe gambe dingol fala abe man sakundale bulu and say gambe dingol fana nyanta lon la ko latina ninko man sakunda 2026 baro nyanta fintile with or without coalition tenga fo mole ndi man times because nin tol gambe dingol tol be ini momo benta gambe bi aka fo mbata tale manna l'hôpital jokeno manda paso sotono nin simonta te kontona nin be agrita be sonta kombe o batale kono bi foybe gambele foybe diaspora woto hannin coalition o manke baro man nyanna wina 2026 nin be agrita ko me nyim batale kono nin be sonta nyim batanka menje nyim batang be ba men kono hannin coalition o man soto ni momo ko ndenyim bata lafta bondi lankanne andu isa bondi no nyame kan wala mu te carte di la barola oto barota widna ande ka jele fo with or without because baro le atina ya jame ya nyadun tolla baro le atina bi abe victimol traumatized la again baro le atina ma nya deta ya jame mola ayake anda fongo bina dunna abe dunka nyin dictatorship le kono so inyanta lola le ya fo Gambia dingol beye baro ye finti anala man sakunda ye lo Gambia dingol nyala ya fo publicly ko Yahya Jammeh ye tajirte ya leke anti RRC wo bala evidence leti ay sunya role leke an janna commission wole mala evidence ti so ni ya dunta nyi banko kono iba arrest lale and iba prosecute la war is non-negotiable no political negotiation wo nyanta clear because Gambia dingol niole bejang Gambia dingol la batale bejang Gambia dingol la problem wala bejang and man sakunda nyanta fintilele ako ay TRRC recognize le ay senea wech ay TRRC recognize le ay jana commission find this or recognize le and abe akla on it ha aba tamandi dale because awato sitale maybe nga nyine need nu pour masakunda ye fintina and gambe dingo gambe nesa masakunda pressure on that because for ye finti ye na because 2026 carte fight wole kono ko Gambia mbe kolbe jubela membe kita nga di writing ngake and wo nyanta kelale because ni wo manke nyaadu ngote bana MP sol fanan député wol Gambian dingol be nyanta nyaayele la MP sol kon nga nyaayele MP sol kan katu MP sol ntole ajoye MP jama bije ma foy be de bari ngalon jama bije talantawol be kabrimbe kala MP tafa stable too stable ime fan sambano ime fan topotono ime dingol topotono nin dingol be bulu e bamaño fama ime topotono bari dunta député yala nga carte faye yela jol lafan wo be banku dingol ba fala ha ni na tay sita foy fanalier luxury soto e nyanta muru la komale ya jube gambe dingol la interest e kane pati interest jube imang itol fongola interest jube bari banku dingol la interest ya jube in section 69 subsection 3 ye law ye wo evoke ya make sure ko wo evoke because aka banku dingol le protect the moment ye wo evoke ya jame be deylale natara ala nyindiamu be bulo folem abe deylale natara nak abinale na nata den they will do it so MP sol banku dingol fana nyante nyaayelele katu nying iya memba kono nyin sango memba kono barola man sakunda periodo wo mu nyaayelo lete anin karango pour gambe dingo beti fo itata karambungo to fo man ta karango i nyanta yelelele kaji ko man sakunda nyanta mola hako dilelale na ma dila ali bondi MP sol fanan idabe nyine kono andum karto boytol fanan bulule pour kanyim fanan change ndeka memfo man sakunda faya yitandi ko aparetale pour ka doko ke banku dingole for once baro wato wati afangolem kodo be nafulo me bebe tinyala kol bebe tinyala abe moma ondasano fo baro fanan ay nyin psychological warfare ta Yahya Jammeh bulu katu Yahya Jammeh fele abe mol traumatized la ay mol traumatized ay mol naka bina trauma man sakundale nyimbe sa because Yahya Jammeh kanyine use adalta nyine la ka mol silandi ka molta psychologically control so man sakunda nyanta fintilale again pour ka wota Yahya Jammeh bulu fo mol fanan ye daha Yahya Jammeh la nying trauma ka bondi mol bulu so nte generally nte ka memfo generally ako bala fa warta a balafa warta a bata warta a torture warta a tajaranta ya fanan warta man sakunda there is no excuse nte maje mune ya tinna man anything je munatina gambe dingol nyanta carte fayla baroye because abe atata anata nte ngaje woleto baro nyanta talale karewe sabati katu mbetilo men kono teng ni Yahya Jammeh ko param janga nata ko be kelo kita gambe ko be kita gambe barole asin tolma kata atele Yahya Jammeh la mol entertain atele Sidi Njai ning fa bakata mbonyol employ atele dundi parliament atele Yahya Jammeh la mol employ atele ke minister solti atele ke NIA kono atele ke police kono atele na banko beta kabinga kelo ke fa be banta ngai ko bara fele banko tamandi ay banko ta ay amurundi AFPRC ma because baroye wole kentola so say ntenga menje mamuneje ntenga keloke fom pareta ngoy ko ninkari lebe kelola alaftam falale nga kele fonga wo mari ta nga win ngoy ko say nga bondi janne a fele tefana yata yemma koy yenta yemurunda amari kan ikay ko a continue ka fa so nte man fenje munatina baro nyanta 2026 election o binna an Gambia no nte kamen fo mo kana fonte ko ha ya malo nte malo nyanta vote la jamal kato mu neddi rolti mu neddi bati an Gambia no nyanta sila yo ko jube ko tek Gambia ni won ka moy ka fo ko nte malo nte to nyata nyamal la fi baro la babari mba fay la jamal o mu neddi roti buguma baro way hawma kan la ko sanil sagala katu nga même fo wole muko ntol mam moso to banko kono même fi da baroti wo mun dir baleti because nga baro jeli nga lon jamalem baroti baro ma no aman kuno so na tarantola mak lan mak ntola Gambia mezo baro lela he oto koro kita Gambia di ngolla kore bale kita ntola andu nyanta malla wala so Mustafa nte lafta fala wala dorom nga optional sotole ni lafta barola ka vote bare afoko lafta vote la bare ye mol bula excuse la alba fala ni excuse mena man la fi barola malom ba fala wo mu excuse ti woto lafta barola le ka tunte ka jo wala nya because ita fala nye mol men bebe politician ol me bebe kay moti je ite sa fay menna andu ita fala ko barola fi sata nyel beti ati tano so ndeka men fuda fonga start ka tonya fo molye waxto sitale Gambia na tonya fo nyoye tonya wulen na fo nyoye because saying what is at stake is too high so fonga tonya fo nyoye Mustafa abarka bake because baroyen na banko tinyale ay Yahya Jammeh nyadun tolbe anyata talale and wato sitale anu I hope afana yalon ko wato sitale ay Gambia dingol Cairo di Gambia dingol la nga Cairo soto nasi janjang ku Cairo kan katun tol man la fi ko teke kana president o samba exile man la fi wala bari na tarambe la ban na jele si la banje but man la fi futala je
ini mara ne akumada mono complain de jako ngetol fanang the voice lafta puriking mole la voice may on the comment box mo jalba saferola tebe saferola Omar Mbalbe kondonna ninko maberi la dol soundala very interesting comments molbe min fokang Mbalbe tentula fankang Usman suggestions comments Usman Jawara aning mo jamale comment ke Mbalbe tentula fanke Mbalje la comment sul jele nyabe kan tebe read la no bari say skim read no la you know observations so many observations thank you all ala baraka bake bari do ko munan nam mo ka sonke la comment ol karang nin ko be karana jang mamira me diamul fango kala no you know to be very honest you know but I can't thank you all I could no amount of instability can underestimate it's impossible that Jammeh has sleeper cells in the country in the sub-region yeah I will comment on the YouTube. Yeah, but thank you all for your comments. You know, in summary, Malbe tendula Allah comment but in future, Allah voice will baby moela ni Allah son the badra comments will request kanana nyame. You know, I can't thank you all enough. So memin kela say sarodi nga final thoughts di dro nga ko kumfajang in 30 seconds each and then nga kumfajang amara bi nga karabagele and diamra jenne nga mul kono to dia ku jama bal Aziz inimbara budung.
Yes, ala barakabake comment on Yejele. I would have loved you read, especially those that disagree with me.
Yeah. Have you got the second to read it, Aziz? Honestly, I wish I can read them all.
No, don't slankan man. Don't tambitare. But whilst I was talking, there were a lot of people who disagree with me, which is really very nice.
This is very interesting. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I really appreciate ila position adu kuma ya tabaki weme yitandi wole muntolu we don't have the monopoly of knowledge men kadia menkela moila wole famo
yes Londo
they know more than what you are talking about
precisely
so nanyo momenti doro wole mu kabanko nying mba safe la nyame memobe konton nambe jayela ala baraka baki.
Thank you.
So
thanks. No problem. Yeah. Appreciate. Karim.
Mustafa Nying abe ka be summarize wala mo.
Electricity bills for a lifetime. Life, family needs. Hurry to.
Kanyim be summarize wala mo ka Gambia dingulu kala mutande ko. Ntolu biringa Yahya Jammeh bondi comme Yahya Jammeh bira jawra bondi a jawra la legacy nying aya faale fa dubenta ndolu fanam biringa Yahya bondi baro nyanta opportunity di la Gambia no lale meniyate tambindi kaje ko Yahya Jammeh Gambia dingulu bunya ayen horoma bari baro la personal killing interest katara mansayala wala ya murundi kabula Yahya Jammeh la molu noma ani alliance form wole Yahya Jammeh nyadundi Gambia dingol la konde ya fa nyame annum baro nyanta lonna la ko niaje ate Yahya Jammeh defeat molu menumu victims of Yahya Jammeh wollelu ya feel ko barobe la nyaji o fitalale ni atambindi betraying those people and leaving them in pain and wallow nyine mbulandi nyin situation o kono be damen saying andon Gambia nyantan hakilo tula baki Gambia be sirin sise kilo leka Gambia nyantan hakilo tula baki andu momo ni be karto fayla 2026 ise mira baki nyin tandan kosol ni nyim fonkol be abe kake dulala to Cairo be dame andu moman duwa korola Gambia bari baro fana mal kentol la Cairo tide katu baro ad hani kabi ate as long as atebe marlola molle be tarla diminna kono baro nanate wala nyaajo fitala muk ndengalon ne ko baro would never ever give those people reparation mafo ka justice dealer maybe justice ka koleale bari to reconcile people many alonko ibe diminare nyokama okuma yata hani na muslima ya dinoto bari molbe sir molbe kamvare nyokama Gambia hani social media dia mo ite kajel ite dey ni findina ni ko be kumo do fala dol fawol se banem fan atare melong imalo bota dame andu wol ite malo wol kete banen dalijuma atike no wol they live in pain
ne wato wa lolum fan
exactly asike no wol be diminale kono ituli afil kon dey ndey ñol lesin to la ñajo fi sila dey fon jenketa silo bula nda fon men fon be diamu kam mol kan ne e kan ne dalilta ma wollom fa malo bota dame fan but they insult me yo andu Mustafa wo be kake moli psychological pain le soto hade ma dingol be Gambia le men yalan ko they are traumatized ye hope men soto baro yo hope bele das akamda ni tata loptano to don doctor lon ko ila nyin sasa mambori jala they've killed you ye fale because ite be fale gradually ite be tarla memira ka wala mun tela balu na fatala sai barin jarante de jaranol Gambia be o situation olto andum fonga revive o banko doya batale pour mole tra nyo konding o banko doya ta pour mole tra siri nyokama o banko doya ta pour mole tra kamfari nyokama o banko doya ta civil wala alman tankalam ntasi mem fono la moy lali wala mu nyenti ko du kare alenga singa mira bake alenga nanyin different sisol alenga put aside nga country put before everything Jammeh or Jammeh's allies or Jammeh's enablers or whatever, they either have to apologize to their victims or justice has to be served. Because oda malaka banko sambanyato. Ni wante, we might have another mad president. Meya lonko adindi mala traumatized ya fa long karang on his own from a single mother and then come for besiring. No banko mara Jammeh mfanya me obem fala wala nyama. Allah baraka. Assalamu alaikum.
Mbara kende.
Lafta fala doron Gambianol nyantalo nako dal mantara leave la 1994 mbota 1994 le sain duta 2016 sain bita 2026 le walum kan so Jammeh na lafta mengo men data ayafo bari ko clean wole clear ta doron komi ngafo in the beginning TRRC ya yitandile ko ay tajarente yale ke mol fata mol le fa ay mol le tocho mol le disappear ay mole rape a seleta mo musol kanne ay crime o kele dal men yalon ko hadama dingola nyanto ay tajarante yale ke an wobe ala regime nying ala mansa kundale wobe ke ya an jana commission fana be ajele ko fana ya itandi corruption o men ke tay fe sunyaro men ke kamolla kodo sunya kamolla fenko lanol kordal lanol sunya ke sis ka abuse ke molla state fenko la beta wo be jana commission ya itandele andum be ajele gambe dingol be ajele international court sol fanan ye Germany ye prosecution o kele Switzerland ya kele Ghana ya kele United States ya kele so already be aje ko ye international fon ye mol that lebe all others lebe je la me alon ko ni Jammeh connecta so it's clear so saying and na constitution of an ko bamba ba fala ko section 69 subsection 3 be alon ko atuta député bu ngol leblo pour ya evoke because a loi bi jele already nyanta menkela it's just matter of evoking it so atuta député bu ngol député leblo pour yo wonati saje ni ya jamenata parering nga prosecute so nkana song baro ni Yahya Jammeh ye silandirota pour doronka quartier win because ñing kamuta ko fanan malum fo Yahya Jammeh ni barole be ñoo kan tem pour kas mol silandiro so do mole quartier fay baro ye dorong o be mo malong because baroni FPRC mol le be ñola so ibe ñoo kanne ibe kol be kela so mo malong fo ñi mo another strategy leti kat wato wati ning election wato se dron ka Yahya Jammeh jabe diamo bakata ngola abe audio fintindi la be param la so ñim fanan si keno asikeno part of that as well so nganya yele say ngambe dingol tambita wala le nganya yele nga make sure ko dal 2026 nde lafta mem fala dron anna ka bandi wala moko 2026 tonya man any reason so pour ka carte fay baroye pour ay muru ay na man sakunda mela ni woketa auto kana complain den woton to lafta batale la lafta toro la lafta ka tora and jubera fana ba fala ala barka be nga understand le ha we should have been reading some of them but we will try to do that as well as Mustafa has said. We just want to say thank you to all of you. We really appreciate you. The time you spend just listening to us and commenting, agreeing and disagree. That's why we're here. We have to agree and disagree, and we have to also share our ideas. And this is healthy. This is what we want the Gambia to be, where we will disagree, discuss, and with no insult, no attack, nothing, but just disagreeing and having this conversation. That's the only way we build our nation, and that's the only way we will build this country. And thank you so much, all of you again. And to Bafala Aziz Bamba Mas. Bamba is good this time. Okay,
ina brother diam abijan ina ya diam
no bara Bamba bukari narale katu Bamba deke je Facebook le deka nga fo Mustafa de maro na brother
kadimile camera mala
no I ngalo tombe abe kudo ko abe program dole ko yeah, but Bamba, Aziz and Suleiman, it's always good having you Carl Soto Jang because aka kacha fanangena fanundile altola expertise and the skills in things fananka cool bene makoele ka fenke so ala barka Mustafa abarka bake boring sol fanang sol baji hope for a time so to la pour kana join kote ke because nga fanam miss bile and I mean Mustafa abarka bake because it's not easy ka nyingkol organize. It's not easy ka boring mol bukalo menka ke behind the scene then nibe bori bola folka mo na ka mol nati speaker so ni aso ke nati ndol fango mem commenter do control soto be boring na buka respond jang buka fenke jana but abemu leadership leti nyimbe leadership skills leti just to make sure everybody is on board and everybody is here and yeah abarka bake yeah. Thank you, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Nate. Thank you very much. Brung lamar na ngiveral wato insunyi na lambe dan na jana on our weekly civic education program. Kono Skype or radio and TV services. So aling albadi malo Mustafa Jammeh member sirin program okuna. Program nyinkana sibido talan lulu UK time 5 o'clock UK time kanya wala fe. More bitten to lambe jelam besaro di la jana fosibit nala inshallah kono Skype or radio and TV services. Nalbari malo Mustafa Jammeh member sirin program okuna fosibit nala limbara.